Hi everyone, welcome to Cloudy Party Tea Time. It's the Disney Explosion Part 2. Yay! I should have that.
Dun.
And today we have a special guest, Bunny-chan.
Hi, I'm Bun. Bunny Choo.
Oh my god, that is adorable.
Isn't she cute? Yes, I just want to take her home and wrap her up in the pocket.
Pika!
Oh my god. I think I just got a cavity.
So last night we got a little bit long in the podcast with the naming of every film we could think of. We did skip a few, but those are for other purposes.
Sorry.
We have other plans.
And also we realized we skipped Dumbo, but we're not going to talk about that because...
We can talk a little bit about it, but we don't have to.
I don't know, I don't really remember it that much. The last time I watched it, I think I was 8, so it's been a while.
All I remember is that there was a controversy because of the crows singing When I See an Elephant Fly.
Yeah.
There were a lot of people who thought that was racist.
Well, of course, it's early Disney. What do you expect?
Yeah, early Disney. And also the mouse, who was sort of the sidekick.
Yeah.
And naturally the Baby Mine song. And that's about it. Okay.
And also park protection.
Other animated movies?
None. We're doing the Pixar explosion at a later date.
Okie dokie. So we'll start with the live action then?
All right. Oh, goodness gracious, where to begin? I mean, Disney did quite a lot of innovation for its time.
Well, why don't we start with, I guess, the first one that included live action? I think that was Song of the South. Yeah, it was.
Yep. Oh, God, Song of the South. The movie that even Disney goes...
The only thing I remember from that is Zippity Doo Dah. We sang that in my elementary school choir, and so we saw a little bit of that.
I think that's basically the only relic remaining of Song of the South since Disney tried its hardest to push that thing under the rug.
Because it was considered racist for certain reasons.
Yeah, just a little bit. I don't know.
It's so dear to my heart, I did not see. Let's see, what else? Oh, next up is Mary Poppins.
Okay. Oh, goodness, Mary Poppins. How I love you. Definitely, that was my first introduction to Julie Andrews, who I adore.
Me too.
But as we've gone over, I am a major Anglophile, so... There's that. God, the music is just so iconic. I loved the interplay that they did with the live action and the green screen, with especially for the supercalifragilisticexpialidocious scene. I thought that was just so much fun and just so whimsical as a kid. Obviously, it did not quite age well, but. You know what? For what it was at the time, it was great.
And don't forget, Mary Poppins fought Voldemort.
Yes. Oh, London Olympics. Wait, didn't we go over this already?
Yeah, we just brought it back up.
Okay, yeah. Again, the stage play version, in my opinion, is brilliant. Because they added a bunch of new songs, basically kind of adapted from some of the original ones. They changed up some of the scenes so that they made more sense and worked better for the stage. Like, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious got completely changed to basically like another scene in the park.
Oh, yes. Oh, I'm not even going to go into how much I really didn't care much for the musical, the live one.
Yeah. See, I don't know. I'm going to have to argue with that.
And they took out the main thing that bothered me was that they took out I Love to Laugh and also added in that thing where the toys come to life.
Okay, yeah, that one was kind of weird.
Yeah, the new songs they added in were weird. but the older songs were all orchestrated pretty well.
Yeah, they did a really good job with that. Seven Time, hands down, my favorite song in both versions. And oh my god, for the stage version, the fact that they added basically a 1.5-minute dance break to that with just like with full stop, they pulled out all the stops for that. Like just pretty much high energy.
No kidding.
Like basically, I'm surprised those people don't just collapse on the spot. And also, Bert tap dancing up the proscenium arch and hanging upside down from the ceiling is freaking awesome.
Not to mention that they got a certain producer on board who was responsible for, let's see, Phantom of the Opera, Cats, Les Miserables, and Miss Saigon.
This is
so
true.
They got, oh, darn it, his name escapes me at the moment. Let's see. I know I can pull it up. Oh.
Yeah, crap, I don't remember either. Oh, bollocks. Hang on. Let's...
Aha! Cameron McIntosh.
Yes, thank you.
That's who it was. Yeah, and he also revived Oliver and a bunch of other stuff, including My Fair Lady.
Yeah, no, he's very, very good at getting stuff.
Yes, he is. And I'm really glad that he was on board for the movie of Les Mis, because otherwise they would have cast who knows who as Eponine. He's the reason why they casted Samantha Barks as Eponine.
Yeah. Thank God. Although, seriously, you couldn't have just made sure that Russell Crowe got kicked to the curb? Really?
Agreed on that. I mean, if he had sung with a little more emotion in his voice, he could have pulled it off. I mean, Javert is a very stoic character, but he does
have emotion
all the time.
Yeah, no, like, especially if you listen to the original cast, there's so much depth to his voice. Oh my god, I cannot remember the original Javert's name, and it's killing me.
Let's see. Well, the one on in Britain, I can't remember, but the one on Broadway was the same guy who played the Beast in Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah.
Trying to remember his name.
Okay, we're failing at this right now.
Well, I'm pulling it up now. Let's see.
Oh, Terrence Mann.
Javert.
Terrence Mann was original.
Yes, Terrence Mann. Ooh, I love Terrence Mann.
I don't know. Personally, I like
Tugger and Cats.
Yes. Personally, I prefer Roger Allam, the original London one.
Roger Allam. Oh, yes, he was good. But the one, my favorite probably has to be Philip Quast from the 10th Anniversary cast. I own the DVD of the 10th Anniversary cast. I own the CD of the 10th Anniversary cast, and I love that.
Yeah, he did a great job with that, and I actually got to meet him. He's a really nice guy. Hello? Oh, crap. Did my connection poop out on me? Crap. Okay, hello?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry.
Okay, no worries. I thought, like, everyone disappeared. I'm like, oh, no. Radio silence, no! But, okay, back to Disney.
Oh, yeah, what I was saying is...
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I'm ending on the note of Les Mis. I really liked it, the 10th anniversary, because Lea Salonga was playing Eponine. Whoever voiced Pocahontas, Judy something, was playing Cosette, and then they had Ruthie Henshaw as Fantine. So it was just a really, really good cast.
Ooh, nice. Okay, I probably have to check this out at some point.
Anyway, back to Disney.
Yeah, back to Disney.
Alrighty, so we're done with Mary Poppins, I'm guessing?
Yeah, I think so.
Alrighty, so next one.
God, there's so many.
Disney theatrical animated features. I know.
Huh?
Bed Knobs and Broomsticks, I really don't remember much of. I feel bad about that because it's something I should know, but I don't
Mary
remember.
Poppins and Witches.
Pretty much.
Who the hell? Oh yeah, and come on, Angela Lansbury. Like, seriously.
Oh, that's right. Angela Lansbury was in it.
Yep.
No wonder they were able to get her for Beauty and the Beast. They had already used her.
Yep. Yeah, Disney has a really close connection to Broadway, it looks like, even back in the day.
Yeah, I think they do, because they use, the lady who played Belle on Broadway also voiced Megara in Hercules.
Yeah.
That was before the era when they hired celebrities for everything.
Although, again, going back to Frozen, getting Idina Menzel on not one Disney movie, but 2 Disney movies.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah. Yay, good job. Okay, yeah. Then
it's amazing.
Yeah.
Yes, good for them for doing that and going back to their roots. Next is Pete's Dragon.
Didn't see that one.
I remember a little bit about it. It was about this boy who has an imaginary friend who's a dragon.
Yeah, like I feel like I read the book as a kid. I don't know. I don't remember. Anyway. Yeah,
let's just say Pete's Dragon's float in the Main Street Electrical Parade is the tackiest one in the parade.
Yeah, but still it was a sweet movie. I thought it was sweet. The ending. I mean.
Yeah. Okay.
He got what he always wanted, and the dragon, he didn't need the dragon anymore, and so the dragon went on to help another.
Aw, cute.
Okay, next up is, Roger Rabbit.
Yes. Are you sure? I feel like we skipped something.
Yeah, it is. It says, well, I can't remember when Parent Trap was made. I'm just going in order based on what I have, but we can go with Parent Trap after Roger Rabbit.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, sure thing. Parent Trap technically would be back in the 70s for the original version, and then, of course, 98, I think, for the Lindsay Lohan version.
We could do it next.
Okay, yeah, sure.
It has a remake. Roger Rabbit doesn't need one.
Nope.
Okay, so Roger Rabbit. Based on a novel called Who Censored Roger Rabbit, and completely hilarious because it was a combination of them, Warner Brothers, and a bunch of other studios.
The first time we got to see Bugs Bunny and Mickey Mouse on screen together.
Yeah.
And it was glorious.
Yeah,
actually, I was talking with a friend recently about how basically you could actually do another spin-off of Roger Rabbit where basically, like, if you introduced more, like, CGI characters as well. So basically have, like, a hybrid between a toon and a human, which would be a CGI character.
Yep.
And how they would interact with the world.
Yep.
Thing is, Disney lost the rights to Roger Rabbit, though.
Ooh. Well, it still technically is Disney, so we can finish talking about it. Anyway,
I just pointed out.
The thing I really wish they had done that they did in Roger Rabbit, but they didn't get to do in Wreck-It Ralph was a nod, like they did with the Bugs Bunny and Mickey Mouse.
Yeah,
they should have and could have done Mario and Sonic. But because Nintendo said no, they couldn't get Mario.
Like, he's referenced at least, and I think
he's referenced, which is good, but still, it would have been a lot funnier if they had showed up around Ralph and just given each other weird looks.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, personally, I kind of feel like that's a moot point at this point because of the Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games series. But that's with me.
And, of course, the most iconic character from that, other than Roger himself, Jessica Rabbit.
Oh, my God.
Yeah,
and her large
most
tracts
popular
of land.
Character. Yep.
She was the most popular character. She actually did have a store at Disney World. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, not to mention that it's where they got their inspiration for Toontown.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That was an interesting computer game, just for the record.
Please, it was the best game ever. I hate they shut it down.
Alrighty, so next up we have, I think, Parent Trap.
Yeah, if you want. Technically, before that, if we want to talk about it, we have Hocus Pocus.
Hocus Pocus, actually, I thought came a little after.
Nope.
So,
Hocus Pocus is in 1993.
Alright, let's talk about Hocus Pocus then.
Best movie ever. Bette Midler.
Yes.
That's all I gotta say.
I'll take thee away to a land of enchantment. That's all I remember of that, sadly. I wasn't allowed to watch much when I was little.
Children, I'll show thee the way into my garden of shadows.
Yay!
God, that scene, oh. Like, even though Sarah Jessica Parker was basically a total comic relief character in that one song always stuck with me as a kid. And then I found another version that someone did on YouTube that's just like, oh my God, it sends shivers down my spine.
Loved that they were able to get Bette Midler, because the previous time we saw her was in Oliver and Company.
Oh, right.
No, trying to find Georgette, the poodle, one who sings "Perfect isn't easy, but it's me." That one.
All right, I forgot she was in that, actually. Yeah, but oh goodness, yeah, that Hocus Pocus is always my favorite Halloween movie to watch, to be totally honest, just because it's so fun.
And it makes me so happy that they always show reruns of it.
I know.
Very happy.
Thank you, Disney, for not screwing up at the current moment.
Yes, thank you, Disney. It's also pretty much the only Kenny Ortega film that I think I can stand, because let's see, what else did he do? Oh God, he's the one who did High School Musical.
Yeah, and...
Warning, I don't like High School Musical or Cheetah Girls that much. Well, Cheetah Girls I'm okay with. It's just High School Musical that I don't really care much.
Actually, High School Musical is what caused Disney to go downhill with their live-action movies.
Yeah, pretty much.
Ew, I know.
Kenny Ortega did do Newsies, and he was the choreographer for Dirty Dancing. So I'll give him some slack for Dirty Dancing.
But what a step in the wrong direction, though, after that.
Yeah, just...
we had to watch it a lot. And it was so annoying having to see it over and over and over.
My sincerest apologies.
I could make my High School Musical jokes like I usually do.
Go ahead and make
it.
We're unemployed together. Yes, it's true.
That is so true.
No, the only one who really has been making a name for himself is Zac Efron, but even him we don't hear much about anymore.
Well,
I mean, the last I heard of him was when he was in that remake of whatever the older movie was.
17 again.
17 again. And I
coming up
I
recently.
saw him in Hairspray and he was decent, but I cannot stand anything or anyone in High School Musical.
Yeah, the only...
Well, I like Corbin Blue, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Blue's
no,
okay,
really-
but I just don't like High School Musical, period. I'll just
You know,
leave
Corbin
it at
Blue
that.
actually really did make a good name for himself on Broadway, and hey, he won Dancing with the Stars, so... Oh, wait, no, crap, no, he did...
No, he came in second place.
Yeah, Ember Riley won, right. He totally should have won, I'm sorry. He was by far the better dancer.
Oh, yeah, that's because he can dance.
Yeah, basically.
And I'll ignore that comment.
Right, carrying on. Okay, Hair Trap.
Finally. Lindsay Lohan's movie before she went insane.
Pretty much.
Basically, you work for Disney, you lose your life.
I know. The only one who hasn't is, I think, Hilary Duff, but...
And Raven Simone.
Raven Simone, right.
Oh goodness. Okay, I'll fully admit the Parent Trap is my childhood nostalgia. I have practically worn out that tape from watching it so much.
Which one, the older one or the newer one?
The 1998 one, not the original.
Yeah, the original was cute, but the 98 one was just funnier. I don't know why, but it was funnier.
The effects were better. The acting was better. I mean, Natasha Richardson, come on, she's awesome. Dennis Quaid was really funny, too. Especially since you could tell he was just having fun with it. It was just cute in general. I liked the music a lot better compared to the original, but then again, I have a bit of a soft spot for some of those scores. And also because I grew up listening to the version of Love by Nat King Cole from the movie, so yeah.
Yes, I remember that too. I loved it. Ironic.
And it didn't have a bunch of sequels like the original did.
Oh, God.
It was so stupid.
Disney will make a sequel for everything.
Because
unless the actor doesn't agree.
Yeah, basically.
Well, we're getting the Wreck-It Ralph, too.
Hopefully it'll be good. I'm a little bit scared.
And they got Mario.
Yeah.
Yay! Thank goodness.
Okay, what?
Not now. I'm in the middle of something.
Oh, cute.
Princess Diaries?
Okay, those were amazing because Julie Andrews totally made the movie.
I mean, I'll admit that the plot was a little cliche, but they were funny. I mean, the Princess Diaries, and they had good music, too.
Very good music. Anne Hathaway was awesome.
And Julie Andrews singing was awesome.
Of course.
Yes.
I mean, the books themselves, but pretty much anything by Meg
what got
Cabot
me to
is...
be a fan of Anne Hathaway.
Yeah, no, me too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much everything written by Meg Cabot is admittedly very light and fluffy, but they did a really good job, and I adore it. And also, for the sequel, sliding down the staircase on a mattress. Hello.
Yes, that was hilarious.
It'd be amazing.
I fully admit, I tried that over at a friend's house. We all got hurt.
You didn't do it right.
Obviously not. Oh, God.
The sequel was decent.
Yeah.
It just wasn't as good as the original. I mean, I was like, okay, in the first one, you were able to get it away with the cliche, but in this one, it's not as good. The music's not as good, and you threw in every cliche you didn't have in the other one. Lovely.
Yeah.
Okay, and the other one... Oh, Freaky Friday.
Yes.
I like the original better. It was actually funnier.
Yeah, the dynamic was a lot different between the two movies, not gonna lie. Yeah. I mean, I liked the kind of rocker aspects of it, because that's I love rock music in general, and Jamie Lee Curtis just looked like she was having a ton of fun.
Yeah, and there was a TV remake of it, but it wasn't very...
No, of course not.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
I liked the 2003 remake of it. It was pretty good.
Yeah, no, I did like the remake. Just, like, I don't know, like, the jokes are better in the original, but the production was better in the remake, so.
Yeah, plus the mom actually was doing something. The mom...
Yeah, true.
We got to see the mom have a job, and when they switched bodies, she had to go to the daughter's school. The daughter realized that, hey, being a working mom isn't as easy as I thought.
Yeah, basically.
Because in the 70s, when they made it, wasn't she a stay-at-home mom or something?
Yeah, she was.
I really can't remember.
She was.
Yeah, that's what made it funnier. And then, of course, the haircut.
Yeah, of course.
Seeing Jamie Lee Curtis with that haircut made me laugh so hard.
I know.
And then the reaction on Lindsay Lohan's face.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, guys, we missed a big one.
Which one?
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh, Pirate.
All right, let's talk about that in the sequels.
Okay, where to begin? Obviously, in my opinion, the first one is the best out of the initial three. I have a major love affair for the fourth one, mostly because, I mean, hello, Penelope Cruz. No Keira Knightley or Orlando Bloom in sight. And they got my favorite flamenco duo, Rodrigo y Gabriela, to do part of the score for the film. So that was, yeah, I loved it.
And, of course, Hottie Johnny Depp.
Yeah, in my opinion, the fourth one is sort of a separate story all of its own. I mean,
pretty much. Like, I don't count it in the main canon.
Yeah. I think with the fourth one, they just said, hey, we ended the third one this way, so let's just make a new one.
Yeah.
And it worked.
And there's another one coming out.
The funny part is...
Mm-hmm. Another one?
Yep, 2016.
Figures. Disney and sequels. We will make
Mhm.
sequels as long as
Funniest
the
thing-
actor agrees.
But the funniest thing that makes me laugh is the fact that Johnny Depp, in one of the movies, Captain Jack, shot himself for a peanut.
Oh, gosh. My favorite part, I've got a jar of dirt. I've got a jar of dirt. That was my favorite part.
Oh, and why is the rum gone?
But why is the rum gone?
There was actually a fan art somebody drew of Jack Sparrow with his jar of dirt, and Luffy from One Piece was chasing him. I want to see is what it said.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
And speaking of Johnny Depp, he's going to be in another upcoming live action by Disney. They are turning Into the Woods into a movie.
Oh, no, I know.
What's Into the Woods?
Into the Woods is this stage musical that basically takes all these fairy tales and mashes them together, kind of like Once Upon a Time. Except that it's the first act starts...
Yeah, the first act basically has the happily ever after, and then the second act is how it all goes horribly, horribly wrong afterwards. Which is really nice because you do get to see what happens after supposedly happily ever after, and it's brilliant.
How magical.
I think we talked about this a little bit last time because Rob Marshall is directing it, and he's the guy who did... Yeah, sorry.
All right, it's okay.
Yeah. No, don't worry about it. Yeah.
The main thing that excites me is
he's
playing the big bad wolf.
Yeah,
and
I know.
that's the kind of character he's good at playing, the weird or scary characters. And I know he got a lot of flack for Sweeney Todd, but I actually think he fits well in that role because he's good with the dark, scary stuff.
Yeah, he did a good job with that. I'm not going to lie, I can give or take on his singing voice, though.
I don't really care much for his singing voice either. It's the acting I like. Plus, I can just picture him reaching out to Little Red Riding Hood and going, "Hello, little girl."
Yeah, exactly. Oh, God.
Oh,
he's going to be a perfect little creep for that.
Anyway, back on Pirates.
I'm really looking for... Oh, yeah. No, I'm really looking forward to Into the Woods, because hello, Sondheim, and also just, I feel like it's going to be a really... I hope they do a really good job with it, and that Rob Marshall produces something that's Chicago caliber from this.
Oh, I agree.
And given how he loves shadow play in his films, I think it'll lend itself really well to Into the Woods.
Yeah, I think it will too.
Yeah, but okay, back to Pirates. Sorry for the digression.
It's okay. It's okay. It was sort of on topic because of Johnny Depp.
Yep. Okay,
anyway.
So obviously, Johnny Depp's basically the best thing about the entire Pirates series.
Pretty much. So I am a huge Orlando Bloom fangirl. Johnny Depp steals the show.
Yeah, he completely steals the show. First one is really good. The way they just were able to set everything up, and the payoff was brilliant. The second one was mostly because I just don't like how they started treating Norrington. Third one...
Second one, the main thing that bothered me was Elizabeth. I was thinking, gosh darn it, you have all these guys fighting over you. You can't even make a friggin' choice.
Yeah.
But in the third one, she actually had made her choice. So, third one I thought was a good end to the series.
Yeah, and I do like that
and then
she actually did start fighting for herself.
Yep, that's what I liked. And then in the fourth one, we get a new girl.
Yeah. Hello, sexy Penelope Cruz. Oh my god, it was hilarious. I watched Pirates of the Caribbean 4 and the movie 9 back to back. Again, also directed by Rob Marshall, I think. Yes. Yeah, Rob Marshall did that one. So it was hilarious watching Penelope Cruz going from being a pirate to being a slut.
Yeah.
We need to do like a movie musical episode, because that would just... I feel like we could get a lot of either discussion or just...
Yeah, there's a lot of ground we can cover in that, because there's a bunch of recent ones, and then, of course, the older ones.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty, so I'm trying to think of what's next. Let's see, we covered Pirates. There's that Sky High thing.
Yes, okay. Oh, Sky High. That one, I really did like Sky High a lot.
I liked it because of the actors and how well they were able to pull off their roles. Also, the effects were all well done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a fun
Besides
premise.
that, I'm a fan of Danielle Panabaker. I'll say that.
Yeah.
She wasn't in High School Musical, so she gets a pass.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a very interesting concept. I liked how they executed everything. I liked how they kind of had to play on like the hero powers and the sidekick powers, because it's just like you always see the main characters in superhero novels or graphic novels or whatever. They always just have like these big blatant powers. So it's like, well, what happens if you don't?
Please tell me this is fake.
Uh-oh, what are you looking at?
Disney's developing a live-action Chip and Dale movie.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Okay, then.
Did I just...
Hey, look who's here.
Look who finally woke up.
Hello!
Vampy!
Oh, Vampy. Sorry, Vampy.
No, it's okay. I totally passed the ever-living hell out. Like...
You forgot.
No, I didn't forget.
Oh, it's
I just
okay.
passed out like hell. Like, oh my god.
Anyway, we started on the live-action stuff.
Yeah, that's great.
We're
'Cause I
doing
don't
Sky
remember
High and then Enchanted, and then we'll talk about the big one.
Oh, you also forgot, aside from Sky High, there's that other one.
Which one?
What was it? Up, up, up.
Up and Away?
Yeah.
That was a DCOM, wasn't it, though?
Yeah, no, that wasn't Disney.
Yeah, we're not including DCOMs.
Yeah, and honestly, we're not even going over each individual live-action movie. We're just kind of picking and choosing.
Yeah. Can't make it last like it did last night.
Yeah, basically.
Right.
Yeah, if it lasts like it does last night, my parents are probably going to be mad.
Yeah.
Anyway, Sky High. My favorite part was when, was basically the ending where they're taking on the bad guy.
Yeah.
Because we get to see Danielle Panabaker kick butt with her powers, and we get to see the so-called sidekicks use their powers too.
What powers?
Wow. So lovely right there.
Well, it comes into handy. I mean, the girl who shapeshifts, she's able to shapeshift into a guinea pig, and it actually works because it's a small space. And so they're able to prove, hello, we're useful too.
Just in out-of-the-box ways.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I have a bit of personal attachment to that movie because, of course, you have the character of Layla in there, and I had a friend from when I was still fencing named Layla who looks a lot like her. So I'm like, oh, hey, it's my friend up there on the screen. So a random little side note there. Oh, God. I probably should not have had that margarita.
Aw,
Damn,
it's
girl,
okay.
you should have dared.
All right, so anything else on Sky High before we move on to Enchanted?
No.
Okay, so my favorite! Yay!
Still up in the waist again.
Okay, so what I really loved about Enchanted was that they were able to include so many different references to past Disney films.
Oh my God, yeah. And they totally did not take themselves seriously in the slightest.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
And
it
that's
was
what made it so
full-stop
fun.
Yeah, exactly. Like, they just went all out here. Of course, Amy Adams was absolutely adorable as Giselle, and, like, you feel like this role was made for her, basically.
Yes, that's what I felt like. And Idina Menzel as, what's her name? Nancy.
Yeah.
Nancy was her name. Idina Menzel as Nancy was just wonderful too. And
I'm kind of sad she didn't have more of a bigger part.
yeah, I'm sad too. They were actually supposed to have her sing, supposedly, but they took that song out. I'm hoping that if they ever re-release the DVD, they'll include that song.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, and not to mention everybody else worked as their characters. Patrick Dempsey managed to pull off the straight man despite Amy Adams and James Marsden being so crazy. And Timothy Spall as Nathaniel was just so funny. I mean, he does really well in those, pardon my words, but goon roles. The goon who follows the bad guy. He was great in Harry Potter as Wormtail. Yeah. And so seeing him in this made me even happier.
Mm-hmm.
Yay.
He's also in another version of Oliver Twist.
Shocker there.
I know, it's Britain. They reuse people like they only have 10 actors.
Yeah, I know. Well, hey, it means they're constantly working, so good for them.
Yeah, that's true. Maggie Smith forever.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
And of course, with Enchanted, music by Alan Menken, so it's good. It's very, very good and extremely addicting.
And Susan Sarandon as Queen Nerissa was epic too. I mean, she pulled off the Disney villain thing really well.
Oh yeah, no, she did a good job, and I love that she still had her hammy moments though.
Me too. And every reference they made, I couldn't tell all of them.
But there are a lot.
Let's see. Giselle was obviously a reference to Snow White with some Sleeping Beauty and Cinderella thrown in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And her appearance was based on Ariel, obviously.
Yeah.
And let's see. Pip the Chipmunk, pretty much every Disney sidekick parody of that.
Ever.
Except Olaf.
And
Except
let's
Olaf.
see. Other references. Oh, they had Jodie Benson in it as the secretary. Robert's secretary, the one who says that she doesn't know where Giselle is from, but she thinks Giselle is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
and they
I
also
remember
had
now.
Paige O'Hara, the original voice of Belle, Judy Kuhn, the voice of Pocahontas, and, of course, Julie Andrews herself.
As the narrator. Oh, yes.
And she pulled that off so well.
Well, of course. It's Julie Andrews. She can't do any wrong.
Exactly.
Yup.
Yeah, I got nothing else to add here. You?
No.
Let's see.
Oh, Narnia,
The
guys.
little girl who played Morgan was pretty good. Oh, yeah, we did forget Narnia. Let's pull up Narnia.
All right.
I
where
thought
to
it
begin?
was pretty faithful to the book adaptation. I mean, I was a fan of the books for several years, and so I was concerned about how it would come out. And then when I saw it, I was amazed. Everything they did was so perfect. And I know
Yeah,
Prince Caspian didn't get the best of reviews, but I thought that was good too.
As someone that never watched it, well, never read it, it was good. But then you found out what happened at the ending too. It was kind of like, they're never going to finish this.
Yeah, no, I don't.
For very good reason.
Yeah, I highly doubt we're going to be getting any Narnia movies anytime soon. Well,
I've heard that what they're planning on doing is that they're going to do Magician's Nephew next, but I honestly don't know because
don't know.
And my guess as to why they're doing Magician's Nephew is because of the age of the actors.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Or Horse and His Boy or something like that.
Yeah, one of the non-related ones.
Yeah, the ones that aren't
because
in depression.
Horse and His Boy, they're all adults, from what I remember.
But then again, I was always a fan of the old school Narnia when I first watched it on VHS.
Yes, I remember that too.
So when I saw the Narnia that they put out, I was like, there ain't no way they're going to do something great with my childhood stuff. Well, I was wrong.
How terrible.
It's one of the few times I was fine with being wrong.
Yeah, because God knows that never happens.
I mean, you know it never happens, sweetie.
Yeah.
Oh, they're coming out with the Silver Chair next, which is good because they released
I think our mic crapped out again.
Yeah.
Oh, my hooker.
So I'm so hoping they just don't do the entire thing, because the last book was depressing as shit.
Yes, the last book was pretty sad.
Not just sad, it was just kind of like, I can feel it already that people who love Susan are going to be looking at the last one like, what the fuck?
That's what made me sad about it. I mean, Susan basically just grew up and got rid of Narnia.
And
I'll go into the symbolism in a minute, but explaining basically I think the order they should do it, I don't know if necessarily they will, is, let's see. They're doing Silverchair next, which makes sense because it has the little boy in it.
Yeah.
And then they're probably going to do Magician's Nephew after that. That's actually the 6th book. But chronologically, it comes first. Because, chronologically, it comes first because it's how Narnia was created, or discovered, basically. And then after that, I think they should, if they do the entire thing, I think they should do Horse and His Boy, and then last one needs to be Last Battle. Though I will be really sad about Susan.
Yeah.
I kind of hope they don't do anything with Susan. Mostly because, they either need to change the ending themselves or just not do the movie, to be honest. Let people have their fantasy life, please.
Yeah, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Besides, I didn't really care for the last one much.
Alrighty, and as far as the symbolism goes, there's a lot of Christian symbolism in there, like...
Really?
Oh, shit.
I didn't notice, with the whole Christian metaphor, Aslan dying, then coming back after he died for your sins.
And the fact that he's a lion.
Yeah, and the fact that, oh God, girls, if you grow up and get interested in, being a girl, you're going to hell, because being interested in the opposite sex is completely terrible.
Yeah.
Still pissed about the casting in that.
Yeah, the casting so-so.
No,
anyway.
not casting. I'm talking about the story-wise.
Oh, that.
Only rooting for that. And also, minorly pissed about the entire storyline, my personal self, because I was like, wait a minute. So, you had these 4 kids who technically grew up the first time, had kids themselves, had kingdoms, and they ended up back in the real world as, kids, meaning they lost basically everybody. Yeah, that's still going to go over well.
Yeah, anyway, the symbolism, really the ones I noticed the most in were the first, the 6th, and the last one. The first one, it was obvious, Aslan being, well,
God. Yeah.
God, Jesus, whichever one you would like to pick.
Yeah. Whichever you pick, whichever you see it as. And then, let's see, what I noticed with the Magician's Nephew, that was when I really started to notice that the witch was obviously you-know-who.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, she's Satan.
Pretty much.
Well,
and it's a reference
you could
to...
see her as Lilith.
It's a reference to the fall of man, basically, the 6th book. And, I mean, we don't really see it with the 2 kids who travel into the world, but when the uncle goes in there, he kind of...
I don't know. The 3rd one, at least the movie, even though Disney released it, it's kind of obvious, considering the mouse is basically more or less going to heaven, quote unquote.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's a little obvious. Even, well, it might not be obvious to little kids, but it's obvious to the rest of us.
Yeah. And then with the last book, it's obviously, what I'm thinking is it's C.S. Lewis's, what Narnia would be like at the very end.
Yeah, just
his version of a paradise, Narnia.
Yeah.
Oh.
And as for Susan, I guess she's supposed to represent the people who aren't in paradise, which that's why I'm so sad about it.
The only reason why I'm sad about it is because it's kind of like, wait a minute, you basically took this chick and you put her through emotional and mental hell, and then you let her go, and then she decides to get a life outside of that so she doesn't inflict the torment on herself anymore, and to try and, do what everyone else is basically doing, which is, living. And so she stops believing in Narnia because she has grown up, which shouldn't be a punishable thing, because it's kind of like, dude, get your head out of your ass.
I know. I really wish they had done something else with that.
Well, considering it's C.S. Lewis, and he is a forever boy, literally.
Pretty much.
It's not going to happen, because she's a female, B, female, C, E, female, older female at that, and she's into makeup and boys.
Yeah, and Lucy was really the more childish of them. She was the more imaginative, I should say.
Of course she was. She was the youngest one, though.
Exactly, and she was the one who found it.
Exactly. That's why. He can't identify with anyone growing up, literally. They have to be a man-child on the inside. So,
yeah, pretty much.
Still
That's why I wasn't... The other thing that made me sad was the last Harry Potter.
We are never talking about that book.
I'm not going to say anything about it. I'm just saying that Narnia will probably make me sad when it ends, too.
I wasn't sad. I kind of willfully ignored the ending. Extremely prejudicedly ignore. Like, beaten to
probably
the core.
For the best.
Yeah.
Anyway, is there anything else we're missing?
Not really. Yeah, no, not really, unless we want to talk about any of the more recent stuff. Like, basically the only thing that's coming to mind here is Oz the Great and Powerful, Lone Ranger, and Saving Mr. Banks.
I do want to talk about Oz the Great and Powerful a little bit.
The floor is yours.
It's all yours.
Well, I thought it was okay, but it could have been told better. I mean, we already have a good backstory, Wicked, that shows the witch's backstory. Better than Oz the Great and Powerful does.
Yeah,
I think they should have gone into more depth as to how the witch became evil. Because this is more of the wizard's story.
Well, that's because it's based off the book from what someone else told me. It's more focused on the book of how he got there. Wicked is a different interpretation by a different author.
Oh, yeah, I know. I'm just saying that it was kind of weird when she goes insane because of a guy she just met. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I know. It has more to do with who did the script and the author there, because apparently...
Yes, I'm not even going to go into who did the script, because there's already enough controversy about him as there is.
Yeah.
Or the director, whoever.
So you kind of understand that this is a no-brainer as to why it...
Pretty much. And he also used some of the same actors. He,
what is he?
He could have done the makeup better, but, I mean, I was a little disappointed when Mila Kunis...
And there she goes again. But you're going to have to repeat yourself here, because we lost you again. Oh, dear.
Oh, dear.
Still can't hear you, hon.
It works for Wicked because they're trying to get us to sympathize with the witch. But with Oz, it's the wizard's story. And we do kind of sympathize with her, but she's supposed to, her outer ugliness is supposed to be shown. So I had kind of hoped he would use this really hideous makeup on her. And he didn't.
No,
of course not. Everyone's beautiful in Disney, even the bad guys, when they do live action.
Pretty much.
Basically.
What did you expect? Literally, it's kind of like, what did you expect?
The only one that doesn't have pretty characters is, live action wise, is the live action Alice in Wonderland thing, which also has Johnny Depp in it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's Tim Burton. What'd you expect?
Yeah.
It's Tim Burton.
Yeah, and that's the thing I sort of felt like about Oz. They kind of borrowed some of the imagery from Alice in Wonderland. You kind of tell that some of it was left over, and I was thinking, okay, it works for a darker version of Alice in Wonderland by Tim Burton, but this is supposed to be Oz. It's supposed to be more magical.
Again, give us the American McGee version, please.
Agreed.
Yeah. But, yeah, I didn't even watch all of Oz. To be honest, it was so boring that I went in the back. Even my mom, who doesn't really have much of a taste, per se, even she was like, this was crap.
Yeah, in my opinion, if I'm going to watch a Wizard of Oz thing, I'm either going to watch the original or just go see Wicked.
Yeah,
those are my two favorites.
I read
I admit I didn't see it because I heard everyone say it was crap, so, yeah.
Didn't see what? Oz?
Yeah. Yeah, no, Wicked I've seen 27 times because I worked it, so.
I read Wicked. I have the books, so my imagination is way better.
Wicked is wonderful.
Yes, go check out the books, people. I think you'd enjoy it.
And there's been talks of them making it into a movie for years, but it's never happened. But I'm kind of concerned about when it happens because they'll make an all-celebrity cast. They'll be like, darn it, I wanted to see everybody reprise their roles.
I don't know. I kind of want them to redo it as an all-new cast because it means they get more blood into the system and they get introduce new voice actors that could
I would be fine with that as long as they get people who actually can sing. No Russell Crowe.
Yeah,
if they cast Russell Crowe as the wizard, I will be very mad.
I don't think Russell Crowe knows how to be funny.
No.
Now, that's actually a role I think would work for Hugh Jackman, depending on when they do it.
No.
Yeah, basically.
Sorry. No. Forever no.
Okay.
I would actually love
if
they brought back
pick
Joel Grey
somebody,
for the
I would rather hear Hugh Jackman over Russell Crowe. That's it. But personally, for Wizard, I think he should be funny. Very funny. He needs to be a comedian.
So they should bring back Joel Grey.
I don't know.
They could. I mean, he's getting on in age, but the wizard, he played the wizard at a pretty old age.
Yeah, no, he played the wizard in the original cast.
I don't know. I mean, depending on how they're going to do the movie, if they're going to do it animation-wise, it would actually be way better, to be honest. But considering how Disney's in this whole, hey, I'm going to do 3D CGI forever, like we're BFFs, I'm expecting something horrible.
Okay, well, here's the thing here, you guys. In 2009, Maguire sold the rights to a non-musical TV adaptation to ABC. Well, as of 2011, it was reported ABC would be teaming up with Salma Hayek and her production company to make a TV miniseries. No other information has been given, and there's been talk about a movie version of the musical, but
Wicked,
no one
you mean?
really, yeah, of Wicked.
Mm-hmm. Well, it couldn't be that bad. I mean, ABC doesn't do really bad retelling. My only problem with ABC is when they do their little miniseries and stuff, like with a lot of things, they're not that very diverse. They don't really like to think too much outside of the same crayon box, to be honest.
Well, ABC did Once Upon a Time, right?
Oh, that's right.
But I don't.
Huh?
Yeah, but I don't really watch Once Upon a Time because it was convoluted and I didn't like the main character.
I thought it was okay, but there were parts I didn't really understand because it was confusing.
Yeah, that's particularly why I'm just kind of
I mean, I liked that they got somebody who understood Disney a bit. They got the directors of Tron to do it, but still,
That might be why.
I don't understand it. And I think the way they ended it this season, or rather last year's season, was annoying. I really wish they hadn't left off on such a big cliffhanger.
Well, that's what they all do, though. But
pretty much.
Yeah, but for me, I'm more interested in the fact that if they do this, I am hoping that they could cast one of the main characters in, more diverse roles. Please. It kind of would help you. It kind of would help a lot of people that watch these things.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. I don't care. You get somebody.
Yeah.
I agree.
The historical site and get these people that have retired. Convince them. I would take Aretha Franklin. Dig Eartha Kitt up. Jesus. I didn't see it.
Oh, Eartha Kitt is Yzma. I loved her.
We talked about her last time.
Eartha Kitt
she was the main
reason
reason why I loved Emperor's New Groove.
Yeah.
It's not just her. I loved her as Catwoman. I loved her singing Santa Baby. I loved her in Living Single because that was such a sad show that went away. Oh, I wish it never did.
Yeah, I was really sad.
My regrets forever and deep. Too bad
I do have to admit, Candy Milo did a good job filling in her shoes for the last parts of the show.
Yeah, almost, and I don't know, she was okay.
Because she had big shoes to fill.
Yeah.
And holy crap.
What?
Oh my gosh, if this happens, I will so watch it.
What?
I remember seeing a trailer for this that it's not confirmed, but there's at least a promo for an animation based on Wicked, the musical version. And there's talk of having...
Vampy, look at the link that...
I'm looking at it, but I'm not really surprised because I've known she did do this. Like Heidi, I knew she did do this because I remember watching her. I remember she had a sketch up about defying gravity, and she did.
Yeah, the storyboards.
Yeah, I saw that, so I knew that was going to happen. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was just a fan project though. Like, if this is legit,
well,
then
she actually
that would
worked
be
for
amazing.
Disney, so it was kind of like I'm not surprised if it got picked up because I remember she really mentioned she did work for Disney. And
that's what I think would be better than a live action movie. They need to just make it an animated movie.
Yeah, that's
because then you could get the original cast. They don't have to worry about casting.
No. I'm sorry.
She wants someone new on it.
It's not just that I want someone new. It's just that sometimes I'm kind of like, even though the original cast would be great, some of us that haven't watched the musicals or don't really care wouldn't mind new people and wouldn't mind different people doing the talking voices.
I don't mind different people as long as they get people who can actually sing, or if they do it separate, singing voice and acting voice, like they have done in Disney movies.
Please, I don't mind if they do the singing, the original cast does the singing, but don't, because some people don't transition well from stage to voice acting. Sometimes it just does not work out. Recent movie.
I know if Disney went and tried to get Nicole Parker on this, I think it would go really well because she was in the touring cast of Wicked for quite a while. Nicole Parker was involved in Mad TV for a long time. So not only is she
there's a lot of people they could pick.
Yeah.
But the main thing is they need to pick somebody. They just need to pick somebody for the voice, not the name.
Yeah,
that's what annoys
really
me about so many things. They big name
know.
actors and actresses.
I don't know. Some people do really well, like in Princess and the Frog. Tiana's voice actress was pretty famous for
yes, and
women.
they had an open audition for that. Well, technically, they had people asking. Jennifer Hudson was one of the other people who tried out for the part.
See, because either way you went with either her or Nakia, they would have gotten someone really good.
And they both were really good. I mean, they both were in Dreamgirls.
Yep.
Yeah. And other things.
Yep.
We're never going to talk about that Avatar movie.
Yeah. No, we're not.
We can probably do a Wicked podcast then another time.
Yes, please.
If you guys want.
Yeah,
Okay,
let's do that another time. Anyway,
Good.
let's talk about the big thing.
Which
Did we?
Frozen.
Yeah.
Well, we haven't gotten to that part on the schedule.
Oh, okay. Well, what's next?
We're not doing Frozen
yay.
yet? Aw.
No. Disney afternoon. Yatta!
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Little
gosh,
Mermaid,
Disney
Aladdin
Afternoon.
series. Let me tell you what. Oh, let me tell you one thing. I remember Disney Afternoon shows, TV shows, and stuff that aired before. Well, I think Bun and Pie might remember this, but certainly not you. I certainly not you. Well, you were.
Well, the series I remember and like were Aladdin, Hercules, to a certain extent, Lilo and Stitch and Emperor's New Groove. But that's because they were all movies before.
Yeah, but
there were only two, well, I wouldn't say two. There were, out of the original animated series, the ones I really, really liked, favorite would have to be Kim Possible.
Mhm.
And then, if I had to pick a second favorite, I would say either, I really wish they had done more of Dave the Barbarian. I mean, yeah, it was kind of, it was kind of stupid, but it had Tress MacNeille in it, and I was like, Dot's voice actress in something again.
Yeah, my TV show favorites before, well, Pie or Bun might know, but before certain folks were born, when it was on that old cable, you now and then it'll clear up the snow type deal. It's like super old stuff, like it's not Alice in Wonderland, but it was like a everyday TV show where Alice goes looking glass.
Oh yes, Alice through the Looking Glass.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly what you're talking about. I think I saw a little bit of it.
And I remember loving that as a kid. And I remember a ton of other shows that may or may not have been my imagination. Like, there's this one, I don't think it was Disney, but it was this one show I used to watch, was like an encyclopedia or something like that. It was super weird and British.
Yeah, I probably wasn't allowed to watch much of it. There were things I was allowed to watch and things I weren't. I had a weird childhood. I wasn't allowed to watch Nightmare Before Christmas. So I saw it.
I watched it. I watched damn near everything that came on TV because, well, my family watches TV.
I saw it.
So, let's see, what else was on there? Of course, Goof Troop.
Yes.
Definitely Goof Troop.
Yeah, and, let's see, what other crazy...
DuckTales. Tailspin.
Gummy Bears.
Gummy Bears?
Gummy Bears. Gummy Bears, bouncing here and there and
Okay, I will admit, I did watch that. I also watched Winnie the Pooh.
Everyone watched Winnie. Oh, here we are. And I also remember watching Disney's late night Mickey Mouse clubs from the 60s, 50s.
I watched a bit of House and Mouse.
Yeah, but that's more recent. I'm like
Yeah,
old.
it is more recent, but still, it's better than a lot of the stuff they have now.
I remember a lot of shows like Babysitter's Club. Yeah, that's what it was. It was called The Adventures in Wonderland. That was that's what it was. It was Adventures in Wonderland, and it was a live action thing. And apparently, Bill Nye the Science Guy was their thing. I did not know this, but okay. Boy Meets World.
Lizzie McGuire.
I loved Lizzie McGuire, and it counts because it's part animated.
Yeah.
Because this is going to take me a bit, because I'm so fucking old.
Life is like a hurricane.
I honestly think that...
Yeah.
I honestly think that Lizzie McGuire could have lasted another season if it hadn't been for the whole 65 episodes only thing.
Also, so weird. So weird. Yeah, I
because up until right around the time Lizzie McGuire ended, their rule was 65 episodes only. That's why we didn't see as many seasons as there are of our favorite shows.
We did get the Lizzie McGuire movie, though, which was, for considering this is when Disney movies started to transition into being kind of bad, they did a good job with it.
I agree. It was a lot better than it could have been.
But yeah, there was a ton of TV shows when I was way younger that some of you guys totally didn't see.
Oh, please, try me.
Okay. How about Brotherly Love?
I think I saw a little bit of that, or at least saw a commercial for it.
I vaguely recall it, but it was probably because I wasn't really entirely interested, to be honest. It wasn't my cup of tea at the time. But it did introduce the Lawrence brothers. Joey Lawrence, Matthew Lawrence, Andrew Lawrence. Those guys.
Oh, yeah, I remember them.
Yeah, those guys. It literally was a show about all three of them. Of course, Boy Meets World was everyone's little other favorite. Smart Guy, which was Tia and Tamara's little brother.
Oh, yeah.
I remember watching a little bit of Sister Sister, even though that was more recent, too.
Well, not entirely, because they're from the 90s, so... But here's one. The famous Jet Jackson.
Yeah.
I remember that a little bit, too.
I remember it a lot, because I was like, oh, when I grow up, I'm totally going to marry this guy. He's so awesome. Why doesn't he have his own movie? This is cool. And then he killed himself, and that kind of ended that dream in sadness forever.
Aww.
Well, don't you remember?
Okay, so next topic is on the Disney princesses. Anything you guys want to say before we go on to that?
Oh, God, Disney princesses.
I got nothing aside from the fact that, hands down, my favorite of the, at least of the animated afternoon shows, were Adventures of Hercules, just because that was just so much fun, and I love how they were able to try and adapt the different myths into things, and they kind of worked, but they failed miserably at the same time. Music was great, though, and I liked that they had Icarus and Cassandra as the sidekicks, more or less.
That was funny.
And the fact that you got to see the other gods interacting with each other.
Like, it was one of the things we would watch when I was at daycare. That and Pokemon. We would go back and forth between, I think it was...
And
there she goes again.
Oh.
That's fun. How old is she?
Yeah, good question.
Aww.
Okay, well, I guess carrying on then, another one that I adored was, again, from a little bit later, the Lilo and Stitch series. Just,
that one was so funny. I loved the crossovers, too.
Yeah.
Lilo and Stitch.
I love Lilo and Stitch.
So, I loved how they brought in the other experiments and kind of just had them going crazy, even if they were basically like Monster of the Week. But it was great to see them interacting, and just, they did a really good job, and the episodes were very well written.
I know. It's like an extension of the movies, and quite honestly, I like that, to be honest. It's because I love Lilo and Stitch a lot more than any other Disney movie except for The Lion King.
Yeah.
These guys are awesome! Also, Bill Nye the Science Guy was part of Disney.
Oh, yeah, I remember watching that when I was younger, too. So many things I watched when I was at daycare.
Fun.
My parents knowing.
Fun. Exactly how old are you? I forgot to ask.
Let's see. I turned 26 in March, I think.
Yeah, you're a baby.
God damn, guys.
But there were reruns of stuff like that on all the time. There were reruns of Animaniacs on at my daycare. That's how I got introduced to that. Tiny Toons, other stuff like that.
Well, God's bless daycare. Also, Even Stevens.
Yay!
Yeah. Power Rangers for a little while. They actually, they actually owned Power Rangers for a little while, which I didn't mind because they did better. This is kind of hilarious.
Superpowered Warner siblings. Sorry, I just had to. I loved that parody.
Let's see, who else was it? As Disney went on, I got older and I phased out of the rest of this crap that happened. Cause, after Phil of the Future, it went downhill.
I would say that after Lizzie McGuire and Kim Possible is kind of when I started to lose interest.
Yeah, but Phil of the Future after that, it was kind of like, everything is shit.
Phil of the Future I thought was funny at first, but I couldn't watch the whole thing through. It wasn't as funny as Lizzie McGuire.
Yeah, but I didn't watch the whole thing through.
I do not get why it was so popular. Hannah Montana. Why the heck?
It's because Billy Ray Cyrus is her dad, and he's rich, and of course he can extend it. He's got money.
Pretty much.
Basically, he rode her to the achy breaky bank.
God, you don't know. Here's the thing that kills me about her is that vocally she could sing, but she's such a little brat that I just kind of want to shove her off the bridge forever for her nastiness. Because I don't...
and not to mention that neither of her parents were parents to her.
No,
Dad was on the set with her. Dad was on the set with her, and he could have been more of a parent to her. He wasn't. And Mom was who knows where. Not to mention that they had marital issues, but I'm not even going to go into that.
Yeah, I gotta admit. I mean, come on, there are plenty of child stars that had good parents that went on and didn't fall into the cracks. I mean, take Lizzie McGuire's actress.
Hilary Duff, she's still doing pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, even though Britney Spears felt she never was gross in the sense of socially gross.
And she came back and made a name of herself.
Yeah, and the thing with her, though, is... too. Yeah, but the thing with her... The mom thing isn't really important. The thing with her, though, was that we didn't get to see the entire story with her, because her stuff was more of a nervous breakdown. And the whole thing with her shaving her head was because they wouldn't let her leave without her doing her hair, and she's like, you know what, fuck it. And I'm like, that's it. I like you the most now. And also, Christina Aguilera made it out okay. Tia and Tamara made it out okay. And their little brother made it out okay with their own shows. So it's kind of like, what the fuck is wrong with you, Miley Cyrus? Stop being a little bitch.
I forgot about Lindsay Lohan.
Oh, God.
We're not going to talk about Lindsay Lohan, but at least she came back and is trying to do better with her life. And
she did. I mean, she became one of the hosts of The Voice, and she's doing really well. She's coaching up. Huh?
We're talking about Lindsay Lohan.
Oh, Lindsay Lohan. Sorry, I got cut off after the Christina Aguilera part.
No.
Christina Aguilera voice. Lindsay Lohan, Lohan kind of goes ups and down. Under everything else.
But she's not as terribly bad.
Agreed.
Oh
I mean, she could have been as bad as Miley, but she wasn't.
Yeah.
Miley is just trying to get attention by doing all this bad stuff.
Not only that, she's just socially gross, and the rest of us are just kind of like, y'all need to come get y'all cheering.
I know. Okay, now on the subject of Disney princesses. Oh, gosh.
Okay, before we completely tear them down.
Well, no, it's actually who should have been a princess. I mean, should there be a princess to represent everything and everyone?
That is not even a question. That should be...
I would say no. There was actually this funny picture that said real-life princesses, and it took real-life people and did them in Disney style. And one of them was Hillary Clinton, and I laughed so hard.
No. I hated
Hillary
that thing.
Clinton, the Disney princess.
No, but here's the thing about that kind of pissed me off is how the way he did it, and it felt trivialized of their struggles. No, don't do that. That kind of pissed me off, because I'm like, you have no idea what you're doing. Stop it. Oh, this gets me angry. But yes, there should be a Disney princess to represent everyone. Maybe not everything, but everyone. Because not everyone's from the same culture, not everyone has the same needs, and not everyone is...
I agree. And Disney. Go ahead, sorry,
I'm on my rampage because I have had this in me for, like, ages, and it's kind of like, Disney, I want to love you, but I hate you so much. This is an abusive relationship. But the thing is, there should be a Disney princess for every culture, every child on the face of this fucking planet. There really should be.
They are trying to, but they're not really trying as hard.
No,
they're not trying as hard
as
they can.
They're literally not trying. Almost. They're
exactly.
Almost
I mean, they could have done a lot more with. I'll pick. I hate to pick on Mermaid because I love it, but they could have made Ariel a different race.
No,
because
they probably wouldn't. Because here's the thing that I can, even though I don't want to, but I can accept with early Disney. Early Disney is not going to do it. Early Disney wouldn't do it. But the Disney of the 2000s to now should have been doing this shit long time ago.
I agree with you on that.
Because what the fuck? You could have had Rapunzel as any other race but what you got there. And the people that keep going, because historical accuracy. Fuck you. Disney's not historical accurate.
They weren't even sticking to the storyline. They could have made her...
They weren't even sticking to anything. Come on, this is Disney. Disney fucks shit up just for the sake of story. Look at Pocahontas and look at the Hunchback of Notre Dame. They don't stick to anything. Oh gosh. They literally don't.
I will say this: if you think that if their Hunchback of Notre Dame was toned down, I'm not even going to go into how much I hate the sequel to that.
No one talks about the sequel. What are you talking about? There is no sequel.
If they include any crappy sequels in Kingdom Hearts, I will be very mad.
It's Kingdom Hearts.
I don't think they would, though.
I think the only thing they would ever include is the only decent sequel they had. Lion King.
Well, The Lion King actually had a good sequel in
exactly, which is why they should include it.
Worked. And Cinderella had a good, well, the third one was good. The second one I didn't really watch because I didn't give a shit about her and Prince Charming. He doesn't need to talk. I don't give a shit what he has to say. I really don't.
Well, there is a petition going around for a plus-size princess.
Yeah, and there's a petition going around for representation of a princess for every single culture. But guess which one is more likely?
Plus-size one probably.
Yeah. But I know they're starting out with Moana, and people are like, well, they're doing Moana, so they're trying. No, motherfucker, they're not. I'm sorry.
I'll bet they probably wind up changing the name, too. Because
they would have to,
oh my gosh, we don't want to have another princess movie. We want to get the boys to come in. That's what bothers me about them. They're, what's the term? Chauvinists.
It's not just chauvinists.
Too much. They care way too much about getting the boys to watch it. Hello, princesses.
That's why
they're for girls.
Actually, no.
They're for everyone, but I'm saying that mostly girls are who's going to watch the movie.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Disney princesses are literally for everyone, and the only reason why we keep pushing boys away from the Disney princess line is because they're like, oh, it's for girls, girls only. No. Let your boys watch it. Maybe they'll learn a thing or two about being kind. But, no.
Yeah,
Disney,
but my point is, they didn't have to do that in the olden days. They didn't have to do that. My grandpa watched Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
That's because in the olden days, they had a certain different set of value sets, and they had a certain different ways of viewing what masculinity was. Now, in these days, we're hypersensitive about this shit. Remember,
No kidding. And that's why they changed the names of everything.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Pink and blue wasn't a concrete thing back then. Pink was more of a boy's color, believe it or not. Blue was more of a girl's color because of how light it was. This was not even a set in stone thing. This was marketing, pure and simple for that. And then with Disney acquired, Disney acquired Marvel as a way to corner in on the boys demographic, because superhero and boys love superheroes, despite the fact that girls love superheroes too, which is why we haven't had a black.
I know, it's annoying. We girls love superheroes too.
But it's not just that though. It's just that Disney had so much shit that they could do, that they can risk, because they have so much money. I mean, they have Disneyland on like quite a few countries, so it's kind of like, guys, you can risk this shit. Why don't you make more POC princesses? Because
and they have Hayao Miyazaki. They could have made a very good Oriental princess based on let's say Kaguya Hime.
In a way,
sorry if I totally butchered the name.
Kaguya, in a way, I agree, but in a way, I don't. I have my own little issues with Miyazaki, because as beautiful and as lovely as his stories are, and as gorgeous as the animation is, and as great as he is with his female characters, he also butchered some stories that just kind of made.
Yes, I agree.
I'm not. But he does better work, and he has. I know. But the thing is, if we give Miyazaki like other Disney projects, you're not really going to get any representation there, to be honest.
Well, true.
So with
the main thing I was saying is that it's like you pointed out, they could try harder, but they don't.
Exactly, and this is why a lot of us were bitching about it. This is a major reason why Frozen is not because of the music or any of that. The reason why people bitched about Frozen was basically representation and the appropriation of culture. And this is what
they
Disney
could have used an Inuit culture if they wanted to use an icy scape, and that would have made it a lot more.
But
diverse.
No. Here's the thing: it is also they borrowed from a culture that was there, and then put salt on the wound. The only few POCs that were in that movie were in the background animation wise, and you barely got to see them. That's not, and people used to pull that up like, see, there are POCs here. No, fuck you for that.
Not to mention that Snow.
No, but not to mention that the ones that were POCs was the trolls. They gave the troll the sassy black woman trope that I loathed so much, because it pisses me off so badly with that.
Well, what do you expect? They got the lead composer from Avenue Q in there, and consequently half the cast is among the trolls.
Yeah, that's true, but still, it is just like, y'all need to stop with that shit.
What bothered me most is that Well, I knew they were going to break away from the material like they do with all their movies. But with Snow Queen, I was thinking, oh, come on. Adding in a talking snowman and a random hiker guy and a reindeer, all of which are male. In the original Snow Queen, almost all of the people who helped Anna's character along on her journey were female. The only male character in it was Kai, who was completely written out, by the way.
Yeah, basically they kind of turned him into Elsa, like combining Elsa, or Kai and the Snow Queen to make Elsa.
And it really kind of...
We're on the Frozen discussion already.
Yeah, I know. We kind of...
We drifted into it with the Disney princess.
Well, that works.
Yeah, but but Disney pisses me off because it's like, why do you take so long to do this? I mean, you could have had... You had numerous opportunities to insert POC characters in these movies, and people like using the freaking historical accuracy shit. And I'm like, dude, have you ever seen the blog Medieval POC? Because it basically blew all your shit out of the water. Your arguments are invalid. Thank you.
Yeah, not to mention that it would have been a lot better, in my opinion, if they had used, let's say, a completely different land for Arendelle in a different culture, and had Elsa be the sort of sore thumb, the only one with light hair, because she has ice powers.
Yeah, well, only with light hair.
And that would have made her different and had them shun her a little. It would have given them more reason for them to be confused about her.
I don't know, with the whole background story of that. Also, by the way, Moana is actually based off of a Slavic word for a Polynesian story.
Ugh. Disney.
Yeah, it's Old Norse and Icelandic for moon. That's why
I'm betting that they're going to recycle some of Lilo and Stitch for that. Ugh. Lilo and Stitch without Stitch isn't Lilo and Stitch.
Actually, yes, it is. I like Lilo and Stitch for what it was, even without Stitch.
Well, that's the thing. No, what I mean is, when I say without Stitch, I mean without Chris Sanders, the creator. He was the one it was his brainchild.
Yeah, okay, that's why it was great.
And he voiced Stitch. That's what I meant by Stitch.
I could have taken or leaving with the voicing, but the story-wise, because the story-wise is the only thing that almost matters. Literally, it's mostly the thing that matters. Except in Frozen, because I'm sorry, as much as I like her singing, I don't want her talking. It doesn't match up. I'm sorry. It just doesn't.
I agree. They should have done what they did with Princess and the Frog. Get a different person to do the talking voice, and then keep Adina for the singing voice, because her singing's great.
But her talking, not so much. I'm sorry. And not to mention...
Her talking makes her sound too old. I mean, yeah, I agree that she was a better choice than whoever the 60-year-old woman that they originally had planned was, but they really should have gotten someone else to do the talking voice.
Yeah. And not to mention, this draws a lot, because you guys have seen the musical, and I have read the book. It draws way too many uncomfortable parallels towards Wicked, like they couldn't get their own idea. Mm-hmm. It literally does. Because, and then the thing that pisses me off, because there's going to be a lot of spoilers since we have now segued from, hey, Disney, representation, motherfuckers, to Frozen. The thing that pisses me off about Olaf, the character, is not because he's annoying. It's not just because he's annoying. I mean, I can take him or leave him, because
Olaf should have been written out completely.
But the thing that pisses me off about Olaf is the fact that I didn't want him to be the person that helped Anna realize anything. I wanted Anna to realize it herself because she's known it all along. She should have realized this herself. And then it kind of had a broken Aesop to it because wasn't Kristoff just chastising her about the whole, hey, you shouldn't fall in love at first sight type of thing?
He was. And to be honest, I think the commercials would have been way better if we hadn't gotten him and the reindeer for the first one. I mean, yeah, we did get another commercial, but...
Well, my thing is, I didn't want them to... If they're going to poke fun of themselves like this, I was kind of like hoping they actually put some meaning behind this. Like, don't fall in love at the first sight. Great. But at the end of the movie, which basically happened over a course of 2, 3, maybe a week at least... and you have them getting together at the end, and no matter what the notes say, I'm sorry.
And Elsa has no problem with it.
Yeah, but no matter what the notes say, I'm sorry, but this is kind of a broken Aesop. It's basically saying, yeah, don't meet a guy and fall in love with him, girls. Not the first day. Wait until a week. I mean, Jesus.
I know, it's stupid.
Are you there?
I'm here. But basically...
I know.
You guys have pretty much taken over the conversation. I don't really have much to add, so have fun.
Okay, so it looks like next on the... Let's finish up with Frozen, and it looks like next on the agenda, Disney Channel and more on Star Wars and Marvel.
Well, I love... Okay, as a person that has been watching Marvel and reading some of it, and as a person that was part of the Star Wars thing, because parents... Well, there's a lot of things in my sci-fi life. I don't mind Disney taking over this. I don't. Because here's the thing that most people don't understand. Marvel was in trouble. Literally. They were selling their scripts off for super cheap. That's how we got Blade, which thankfully revived Marvel a bit. The Blade trilogy.
Just a little.
Yeah, but come on. You gotta admit, Blade helped Marvel big time. And then later on, Disney took over. And a lot of people were terrified that Disney was going to fuck shit up. But surprisingly, they haven't. Actually, they kind of did better. They did better.
I'm glad they say Marvel. Star Wars is what I really don't get.
Star Wars is because George Lucas is filthy fucking rich at this point, and he doesn't care. That's literally it. Star Wars is he's rich as hell and doesn't care anymore. It's like, I can't think of anything. So here you go. But
the only thing I like about it is that they are trying to get the original cast back for some cameos, and that's about it.
Yeah, but it's not really...
Still, we had the prequels. That was enough, in my opinion.
Prequels was all George Lucas's babies. You know this, right? This is all Lucas. So... Think of it this way.
Well,
you might
to be honest, for all that those movies were god-awful, George Lucas is a brilliant when it comes to marketing.
Yeah, exactly.
Agreed.
He is brilliant when it comes to marketing. And the thing with Marvel is, honestly, I'm actually okay with Disney doing that because have you not seen some of the animation for Marvel lately? Like, damn. Because the cartoons...
No kidding, it's been better.
Yeah, it looks beautiful. And as much as I'm a fan of the 90s, I kind of like these styles better. Like, the Earth's Mightiest Heroes, that was a great one. And Avengers Assemble was pretty much of a animation evolution step up. It was gorgeous. And with Marvel, I don't think we should have worried too much because, quite honestly, I think Disney is almost using Marvel not only to capitalize on the boy market, but also to capitalize on making certain sexualities as the norm. Like, hey, guess what? Your superhero is this and has gotten married and has kids. But I haven't been too into Marvel as I was with DC, but as far as I can tell with Marvel, at the very moment that I know of, they haven't broken up as many families and relationships as they have as DC has. So.
Oh gosh, DC is really disappointing me. I mean,
Oh,
I honestly can deal with the Batman Superman movie. I'm fine with the guy that casts as Batman, but
no,
could they have not cast somebody else as Wonder Woman? I mean, did they have to shove her into the movie like that? And not to mention get somebody teeny tiny for the role.
Well, actually,
Wonder Woman has curves.
Honestly, I don't mind who they got because, one, she's a POC, and two, Wonder Woman is whoever we think she is, to be honest. The people I'm still kind of like, yeah, exactly, and the people I'm kind of like on is Jeremy Irons, who was Uncle Scar, is now going to be Alfred. And that dude that played on The Social Network is going to be Lex Luthor.
Yeah, I don't get that role.
Yeah,
I think they'll be able to pull it off, but I still don't get why they picked who they picked.
We can save this for a whole different podcast. Let's
save it. Just a thought. Because this is probably going to just spiral out of control, as per usual.
Yeah, it does. But back to Marvel.
I think that wraps up the Star Wars and Marvel bit.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I was thinking about Marvel because I'm thinking about all the stuff they have put out so far, cartoon-wise and animation-wise. The only thing that pisses me off are the movies.
I couldn't agree more with you on that.
The only thing
animation is really good.
Yeah, the animation side, they're starting to kick DC's ass on this. But
no kidding. I mean, DC, what happened to Teen Titans? What happened to Justice League? What happened to your Edge?
We don't talk about Teen Titans Go. We do not.
No.
I'm not going to even bring it up.
Here's the thing. With Avengers, the movies, as great as they are and as massive and how much it grosses in all these movies, the thing that pisses me off about the Avengers lineup is kids who have, this generation of kids who have no pre-knowledge of anything, who have watched Earth's Mightiest Heroes and didn't watch Avengers Assemble, they're thinking, oh, cool, there's going to be Falcon or Black Panther. And then you watch the movie and it's like, where the fuck are these guys? And then it's, like, so bland in a way because it's like you've got no representation except for Nick Fury, but he doesn't really count because him and Idris's character are basically on the sidelines for most of the movie. So it's
not to mention that Nick Fury eventually becomes that one villain guy.
He's not really a villain per se. With Marvel, more so than DC, Marvel's more of a gray. You get a lot of shades.
Anti-hero, you mean?
And yeah, you get more anti-heroes or anti-villains. You get more shades of gray because Marvel's moral concept is vastly different than DC's. DC has
I've noticed. Plus, they're more complex.
Yeah, but DC, that's because DC has a white and gray mortality, has a white and black mortality, while Marvel is
much
gray all the way through. So that's why it is. And we need to save this for another podcast with those two.
Let's do that.
Anyway, who's next?
Disney Channel, what happened?
It's called We're Trying to Be Hip with the Kids, but we don't know how to layer clothes right.
Well, my theory is that after Lizzie McGuire and
Hannah Montana, which made no sense. The movie made no sense.
After Lizzie McGuire, that's when all the shows started going down the hill. And when Hannah Montana first came on, I thought, and when people were going crazy over High School Musical,
lost her again.
Yeah.
I think the thing that destroyed Disney was somewhere around. I'm still kind of
Corey in the house.
Oh God.
No.
When they started doing spin-offs, it just kind of all went to hell.
I will admit, and they were going to try and do a spin-off of Lizzie McGuire, And they tried to do that with Sweet Life with Zack and Cody, too. Well, actually, they did do that, but they were going to do it with a different character.
Yeah, but I'm telling you definitely that the thing that is kind of... I still cut it off at the 2004-2006 cutoff date, at the very least, because, yeah, everything after that was just shit. But I have to admit one thing about the Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. It did break a stereotype. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, the blonde being the smart one and the Asian being the dumb one.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie.
That's what I loved. I loved London Tipton.
Yeah, that is one of the things that I did love about it, because they decided, you know what? Fuck the stereotypes. We're gonna do this way. And that's what makes Zack and Cody probably more interesting. It's not Zack or Cody. It's the people in the background of the actual story.
Yeah, and Sweet Life on Deck just... Ugh.
We don't care about Sweet Life nor do we talk about it.
Okay, no more about that then. Back to the original.
But Corey in the House was horrible.
Yeah, that was a terrible thing. As much as I like the actor, no, that whoever wrote that needed to be fired. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the only decent thing they've had out recently is Good Luck Charlie, and now they're ending that.
Well, it's because Charlie's getting older. They can't.
And also remember that 1 million moms protested it.
Yeah, but her friend has 2 moms. Oh, her friend has 2 moms. Okay. But
yeah.
It's because they were trying to show that families are different.
And
apparently one of their stars is
What?
And one of their stars is getting death threats on Instagram.
Good grief. Which one?
And she's 5 years old.
Charlie?
No, the 5-year-old.
That had the 2 moms.
Oh, that's just awful. I can't believe it.
Come on, they did that. I don't know why you're surprised, though. They did that with, Quasat, God, what's that poor child's name?
I'm not surprised by that. I'm just disgusted that it's happening to a 5-year-old. A little 5-year-old girl.
She was like 5 or 7. They do that. These people these days are such assholes that they will threaten even Blue Ivy, who is 3. Who's not even 3. She's an infant. You're threatening an infant. You're talking about a child. And they do the same thing. They did the same thing with Will Smith's kids, too. Especially Jaden and Willow. They tried to drag Willow through the mud over how dare she wear this or how dare she sing about this. Oh, what about her voice? And I'm like, guys, she's a child. Why are you talking about it?
I know, it's just terrible.
And then the 1 million moms, everybody thinks it's the 1 million moms who sent the death threat.
We know it is. I mean, who?
Which is
it's not, well, not just them, but we know, because who else would waste their fucking time?
The only other organization I can think of, Westboro.
Oh, yeah, basically.
Oh, they learned their lesson when they got messed with at Comic-Con.
Well, not necessarily. They were going to come here to protest after the tornado happened.
Come on, they protested. I would send them.
But thankfully, the bikers drove them away.
Yeah, the bikers.
Good job.
Yeah, the biker brigade showed up at the Baptist Church in Moore and was prepared to scare them off. And so it was a no-show. So I just really hope they disappear.
Yeah, but here's the thing that amuses me the most is I would totally send them a bag from Amazon.com of Haribo's sugarless gummy bears. You know what happens when you eat those little bastards.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah. Diarrhea forever.
Yeah. Those things go straight through your system.
Never eat sugarless gummy bears from Haribo, because as far as I can tell, there's way too many reviews for this to be a coincidence. There's something in the mixture that makes it a laxative.
Yeah.
Oh, good. No,
Okay, so next up, we have why some girls of Disney never made it to princess status.
Oh, Kidda. Why did Kidda not make it? You have to tell me, Pi. Why? Why? Aside from her movie not grossing enough.
And that was the reason. Her
movie not grossing enough? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was pretty certain that would be it because Disney has this weird complex because the Black Cauldron didn't gross even anything.
The Black Cauldron was considered a flop. Even though it did have a bit of revived interest in it, it was considered a flop.
Yeah, it was considered too much of a flop at the time, so that's why, whatever that child's name is, I can't remember her name.
Eloise.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. She didn't get added to the lineup. And honestly, I don't really mind, but...
And the only reason why Mulan and Pocahontas got added was for supposed diversity.
Well, Mulan
because their movies technically didn't gross enough either. As much as the other ones, I mean.
Yeah, and it's always confused me why Mulan is in the lineup, because she's not a princess.
Because they want somebody Asian.
Yeah, that too. But it's also because Mulan's status, I'm going on hearsay here right now, but Mulan's status after what she did does kind of qualify her as princess status. But princess is more of a European standard. Pocahontas was considered a princess because she was the chief's daughter.
Exactly.
So obviously, Europeans are going to equal that to being a princess when it doesn't quite mean that. I'm sorry. It doesn't mean what you think it means.
Peeta from Atlantis, I think, would have been added if her movie had grossed more.
Yeah, and
they didn't want to pay Amy Adams anything because Giselle.
Yeah, that's why. Plus, there were technically two princesses in that movie, and they would have run into the same problem because they would have had to pay Idina Menzel.
Yeah, basically, they couldn't do that. They're cheapskates that way. Why are we surprised? Not.
No kidding.
And then they had to add 2 more princesses, slash
Tiana, I can understand because they wanted someone to represent African Americans because there had been so much controversy.
Oh, there was going to be
Rapunzel?
Either way.
But Rapunzel, they could have done more with her.
Yeah,
and also, I agree that Tiana should have been on front row for a lot longer than she was.
Yeah, I have so many issues here. So many.
And the redesigns, they suck.
Tiana's
the redesigns make me want to puke, especially, probably the ones I take the most issue with are, let's see, Mulan looks like a hooker because of all the makeup.
Here's the thing.
Pocahontas doesn't even look Indian anymore.
She wears boots now.
Also, don't use Indian. It's Native American, damn it.
Native American, sorry. Sorry, didn't mean to offend anyone.
Ooh, touchy.
Sorry, Tima. Didn't mean to offend you if you're listening to this. Tima's my bestie. Half Native American.
Yeah, I'm the one that's the politically correct person here. Or more or less.
Well, it's late at night. That's my
excuse. Yeah, I know. But the redesigns were terrible because not just because they glitterized them or made them more sexual, also because they lightened the skin tone of everyone else. Literally.
And they made them look thinner too. Merida was curvy, about my size probably.
That's because Merida, not really an excuse because Snow White's like 13. Like the hell.
Yeah, Snow White's 14 at most, I think.
She's a child. Let's face it, she's a fucking child. So, yeah.
And guys running around saying they want to boink Snow White.
Yeah, but then again, there are guys that's going around saying they want to boink freaking fictional ponies too.
And Vanellope, poor thing.
Oh, poor Vanellope. But I don't like it, to be honest. But either way, with the redesigns, it trivializes some of the characters' ethnicities and who they are, in a way. And then
and they give you this idea that every princess has to have sparkles all over them. Fairytales didn't do that. I liked the 2001 designs. I was fine with those.
Well, I do like Cinderella's redesign.
Yeah, because she was a little boring, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, but still, she didn't have to bare her shoulders. And one thing that they pointed out is that little 3- and 4-year-old girls want to be showing their shoulders now because they think that's what a princess does.
Yeah.
They didn't change Tiana.
Thank God. Jesus.
I know.
Tiana's story had... It's basically Princess and the Frog meets the Frog Princess. That... As much as I love that movie, I also have so many issues. Because you notice what they do, though. Because...
Pretty much.
Most POC movies I've seen up until, what was it? I can't remember it right now, but most of them, aside from, like, the recent ones, they have all been changed into animals. Tiana, Brother Bear, Cusco, well, not Princess.
That was the main issue I took with Brave, too. They took so many things from other movies.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
I love Merida to death, or Merida, or however it's pronounced.
Merida, yeah.
But they really went overboard on that.
Yeah,
and I honestly think How to Train Your Dragon is a lot better when it comes to a Scottish approach.
It's more...
It's Nordic, though. It's not Scottish.
Yeah, Nordic. Sorry, my bad.
Because Disney, they could have done more diversity in there. Because I mean, come on, you got a bunch of Vikings that are pillaging and going everywhere. You really don't think there wouldn't be a mix up in there? For real? Really?
No kidding.
Really, guys? Okay.
Not to mention that this is the main problem I have with Disney. Their trailers recently. All they had in I'll start with Tangled. Tangled, best day ever. That was pretty much the only trailer they showed. Brave, the only one they showed was kilts. When in Japan, they showed pretty much the movie. They explained the plot.
Yeah.
And with Frozen, we got the snowman. The annoying snowman.
Are you dying over there, I?
Wreck-It Ralph is the only one I honestly think had a decent trailer.
Yeah, I'm at the point where I just don't care anymore. I literally look at all the stuff I do not give.
They had a princess in it. Vanellope turned out to be a princess.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't watch Wreck-It Ralph, so it doesn't matter to me.
It's funny, but I'll just say that Who Framed Roger Rabbit I liked better.
I love that movie. That was a good movie, Roger Rabbit.
Yes.
That's hilarious. It was actually pretty good animation-wise.
Alright, so next I guess we talk about the villains.
Yes.
Come on.
Ha ha ha.
Do your thing, guy. Say it.
Okay, my favorite is Yzma, because, first of all, Eartha Kitt. Secondly, she's funny.
Oh, that's it? Nothing else?
Well, and finally, she turns into a cat. I like cats. I like dogs too, but I like cats. That's my favorite scene from the movie.
No, I am not going to destroy it. I am going to drink it and then go back to my beautiful self.
Nice.
Yeah, she took a few laps around the circle of life.
Okay, where to begin with the Disney villains? Okay, oh goodness. I think hands down my favorite classic one is definitely Scar. Because not only...
Oh, yes. Lion King is my favorite overall. It's just that Scar doesn't have my favorite villain status.
Anyway,
Okay.
as I was saying.
Thank you. Oh my god, yeah. With Scar, not only does he actually succeed in his goals for the most part until Simba topples him, basically, he's just glorious. Oh my... Okay, again, English accent definitely helps here.
He's even scarier in the musical, too.
Oh, no, I know. I've seen it more than my fair share of times. He's generally just creepy. He's extremely manipulative, which helps in his goals, because for the most part with Disney villains, they just they work on their own and do their own thing. He did manage to not only get the hyenas behind him, but he did have the lionesses with him for a little bit until basically everything went to hell in the Pride Lands. And he has my favorite, well, okay, it's kind of a toss-up between Be Prepared and Hellfire for my favorite villain songs.
Oh, love Hellfire and love Be Prepared.
Yeah, so, again, as we discussed last time, Be Prepared was my audition song for college, so that's near and dear to my heart. Scar just has some of the best lines in general. Well, probably one of the ones that I quote with
That's one of the
abandon.
things I regret about Yzma. She didn't get her villain song. Well, she did, but it wasn't included in the movie. That
Hey, Bun,
snuff out the light thing.
Bun, do you mind if I finish, please?
Go ahead. Sorry.
Thank you. Yeah, just basically, just the imagery as well and Be Prepared is just gorgeous, and the lighting. Mm-hmm. And of course you've got the Nazi goose steps in there, but that's another story. Mm-hmm. And of course he has great lines. Like, I always end up using, I'm surrounded by idiots.
Oh, I shall practice my curtsy.
Oh, I shall practice my curtsy. Oh, God. Or,
I love that line.
I suppose that would make me a monkey's uncle. I love that. And then, of course, on the other side, Frollo. Definitely one of my favorite villains, just because he's just... God, he's so screwed up.
I think he's the one Disney took the most risk with.
Yeah, that's putting it mildly. Especially considering, again, source material, he raped Esmeralda, among other things. The movie shows him pretty much burning down, he torches Paris, for crying out loud, to get rid of the gypsies. The book is about 10 times worse on the genocidal factor.
Yep.
Again, has the great villain song with some great imagery there. I love for Hellfire that they have kind of the cloaked figures in red saying mea culpa, which is, of course, it's my fault. And part of the... Oh, God. I want to say in the original Latin rite for confession, that's part of it. I don't know, because I'm not religious, but I went to Catholic school for 4 years, so it kind of stuck out. So I may be wrong on this. My apologies, since I do tend to end up being a bit misinformed here. Just in general, like, he's a creepy guy as well. Like, just creepy old dude.
And that's putting it nicely.
Yeah, and also, again, the fact that in the Disney movie, they made him a judge and a count instead of a priest, like in the original story. Like, I think he was originally a bishop.
He was.
Yeah, thank you. So they did tone it down quite a bit, but it's there. It's still there if you're looking for it.
Yeah, besides that, the judge thing, it gave him more of the power corrupts approach.
Oh, completely. So, yeah, that's my spiel.
Let's see. What were my favorites? Old school version, I have to admit, my favorite was Ursula.
Yeah,
I loved her, and I loved who she was based off of, too, so I loved her. I loved everything about her. I love how unapologetic she is about how she is, and I loved how upfront she was. She didn't lie to Ariel. She told her exactly what was going to happen. She just didn't tell her what was going to happen afterwards. So Ursula was one of my favorite ones, and her song "Poor Unfortunate Souls" beautiful. I love that song. I used to replay it like hell and back. And let's see, going up to Disney scale of evil. Well, I did like Frollo. I love the imagery in that one, but he's not my top one. And I did like Uncle Scar, but still, he's not the top one. The top one is Dr. Fleshinger.
Facilier.
Yeah.
Oh
dude,
gosh,
man, I love
evil.
his stuff. It's not that he was so evil, it's just that he was so greedy and was unable to pay his dues.
Pretty
the thing
much.
I loved about him was that his song, Friends from the Other Side, and then the reprisal for it, and then how he was tempting Tiana the entire time. And I loved that about him. He was thinking. He unlike some of the other, or the more recent Disney villains, except for one, which I will touch upon in a second, and is also a spoiler. He's amazing, and in a way, considering that it's the 1920s, the South, and he's a voodoo practitioner, he knew his risk, and because voodooing isn't actually evil, it's actually a ton of shades of gray. It kind of was basically, he knew the risk, he knew what he was doing, he promised something that he couldn't deliver on, and he paid the price. And so I loved his character, and I loved the implications of what he is and what he means, because his only goal, aside from delivering the souls of everyone to his friends on the other side, was to be rich, because he's poor. And poverty makes a villain out of a lot of these guys. And let's see, my next favorite, which is a spoiler, is Prince Hans.
Oh gosh, yes.
I love Hans. Hans only because he wasn't outright evil. Actually, I almost didn't consider his character evil, to be honest, because, to be honest, Anna kind of walked into that. I mean, come on. He's basically...
No shit.
Anna was too gullible.
Yeah, that too, but
she really was.
Yeah, but her growing up and what she was expecting doesn't help either. But
the reason why it works for Hans is because he learned to be manipulative because he wasn't an only child. That's how you get manipulators.
But he's not the youngest either. But he's also not the youngest either. But here's the thing about Hans.
So he probably learned a little bit from his brothers.
Well, here's the thing, though. I think she probably would have benefited more if she had married Hans and learned from him, because just because he's manipulative doesn't mean he couldn't have been a good ruler. He actually was pretty good at what he was doing while he was there. Yeah, he was there to take her kingdom, but at the same time, he wouldn't have been able to take the kingdom any damn way because Elsa was queen. I mean, the entire thing with Elsa running away was not Hans's fault. It really wasn't. It was Anna's fault for that one. And so, really, he would have probably been happy to have married Anna and been second on the pedestal with the whole thing.
And then he probably would have had her killed.
It depends. We don't know what kind of ruler Elsa would have made if she never ran away. And considering that she stays away mostly from other people, he and Anna could have been the fate of the kingdom, and still would have became very well loved, and he would have been very, very good at his position. So that's why I don't really think of him as a villain. People would probably disagree with me, going, but he tried to kill Elsa and blah blah blah, Elsa blah 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 blah. I don't care because it doesn't negate the fact that in the time of crisis he was there delivering orders because Anna had left him in charge, and he did it very well and very efficiently. That is one of the marks of a good ruler. doing things well and efficiently and with authority. That is what he had, and he was good at that. So, honestly, hands down is one of my other favorite things, even though I kind of dislike Frozen as a movie and as a whole because of the broken Aesop. But
he was one of the only redeeming factors about the movie.
Yeah, to be honest, he kind of was. And a lot of people hate him.
Am I the only one here who actually enjoyed it?
It's not that I didn't enjoy it. It's just that there were some parts that were told well, and then there were some parts that weren't told well for me.
Yeah, that was my issue, too.
I mean, Pi liked it, so... So you're not alone.
Anyway, back on the topic of villains. Pi, have you said your...
Nope.
Go.
My favorite, it has to be, let's see, old school, definitely Ursula.
Yeah.
And Vampy's already said my reason.
You poor.
And let's see. Another favorite is Hades, because he was just downright hilarious.
Yeah, he was.
He was awesome. And then Dr. Facilier, made of win. Epic villain. I'm just disappointed he didn't get into the big epic boss battle.
Yeah, I know. Funny thing is,
amazing.
All those villains I actually like, but as far as the actual list goes, I would say best musical number would go to tie between Ursula and Scar. Best fight.
What else do you like? Pi. What is that? The only one you liked?
What?
Villain, Ursula, and who else?
I said Hades and Dr. Facilier.
Oh yeah, I couldn't hear you that much. Well, it must be my headphones.
Anyway, let's talk about the little points. For best musical number, I would have to say tie between Ursula and Scar, because those are the two villain songs I love, love, love. What about you guys?
Dr. Facilier's was awesome.
Dr.
Facilier's was awesome. Hades, yeah. What is his name?
Who are you thinking?
Hey, what is his name?
For what movie?
No, not. The Return of Jafar. Not Jafar when he did it. It was awesome.
Genie Jafar was pretty awesome, I have to admit.
Yes.
He did a better job at showcasing
and his Prince Ali reprise was pretty good, too.
He did a way better showcasing his powers than Genie did, to be honest. I actually preferred him more.
And Mother Gothel actually had a nice musical number.
Yeah, she did.
Gosh,
I did like Mother Gothel's villain song. Her whole listen to mother thing, because it's both a cautionary thing that mothers do tell their kids, but at the same time, the way she does it is kind of interesting, and I love it. And Friends from the Other Side for Dr. Facilier was amazing.
Glorious.
Nothing can top that for
Disney's
me.
just really good with villain songs in general.
Yeah,
Other mention
almost.
I'm going to say that Oogie Boogie has a good one, too.
Oh,
that's Tim Burton. Tim Burton
but
does.
still technically Disney.
Great music. Still
I
Tim
don't
Burton.
know. I personally... Yeah, sorry. Sorry, Vampy. I don't know. With Oogie Boogie song, it's okay. It's not quite there for me, to be completely honest.
Yeah, it's not my favorite.
Don't feel bad. I'm not crazy about Oogie Boogie songs. My favorite from Tim Burton, when he was working with them, I guess, was more of Sweeney Todd's.
Yeah.
I don't care what you say. Sweeney Todd was a villain. Yeah. Sweeney Todd, even though in his own story he's a hero, he's also an anti-villain and a bit of a villain himself. Because, dude, what do you think killing
He's a mass murderer. What do you expect?
I know.
Oh. And Gaston had a great one.
Of course, Gaston. You and your Gaston.
Yeah.
Nobody makes an epic musical number like Gaston.
Sorry.
Yeah, Gaston was a good one because I always, like I said in the last podcast, Gaston is scary because he's more of a real life villain than any of the others.
Exactly.
The other ones, they're in the realm of fantasy. Gaston and people like Hans are within reality. These are actual things people actually did. So that's what kind of sets them apart from the rest. And yeah, best fight scene is definitely, for me, Gaston and the Beast. That is actually
I agree. Also, Scar and Simba's face-off was pretty good, too.
Well, so is Mulan and Against the Huns, too. That was a good one, too.
The only one I think
Ariel fighting Ursula.
The only one I think who got the short end of the stick was Dr. Facilier.
Not really.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't mind.
He got what he deserved.
Yeah, because you don't know the way voodoo, and as far as I can tell, voodoo works is because it's all shades of gray and it's not actually black and white morality. When you ask ask people what you want, they're not responsible for your decision. You made this decision. You asked this of them, so you have to bear the consequence. The thing that makes Dr. Facilier's thing interesting is he's knowingly doing this and knowingly promising this. And his only goal is to accumulate money and power because 1920s black guy. It's kind of a no-brainer of why he would do this. So
pretty much.
So he's taking the shortcuts and the short way to his goals. And this is on polar opposite with Tiana. And even Prince Naveed on a certain level. Even though we don't really talk about him, he's just arm candy sometimes. But
yes, I think Naveen's hot.
Yeah, but the thing is, Dr. Facilier is not the polar opposite of Mama Odie. He is the polar opposite of Tiana. Tiana worked hard. She didn't take shortcuts. She got so little sleep that I'm actually fearful of her health, to be honest. And he took the shortcut. He made deals. He did what he was going to do, whether it worked or not. To be honest, if he wanted to, he could have made his spells better. It actually worked and would have actually had a more lucrative job, more lucrative earning that way. But yeah, and
he could have controlled people with his voodoo, but he didn't really.
No,
I mean, all he did was trick Naveen, but even that was amazing.
But he couldn't trick people. He couldn't control people with his voodoo. That was the thing. That is not how voodoo works. You can't do that.
No, I meant like a voodoo doll of some kind.
No, sorry.
No, it doesn't work that way.
It does not work that way.
Sorry.
It really does not.
My bad.
It's like, voodoo does not work this way. Hollywood voodoo, what they think voodoo is, that works that way, but actual voodoo does not work that way.
My bad, guys. My bad. I'm sorry.
And then, it would have been too suspicious. Because people would have acted outside of the norm. They would have been wondering, why the hell is this black guy getting all this money for? It would have raised suspicion. So, honestly, his plan was better in a way because it was more it's substable. You know what I mean? It was more quieter and easier just to have somebody replace Naveen and have this guy over the cash, to be honest. And
then
I think the one that I will still always be like, wasn't that great, was probably anything with Jasmine. I'm sorry. It wasn't her story. Any other great music or fight? Well, no. Jafar with Aladdin was a good one, though.
Who's?
Yeah, anyway,
should have had
you
an
guys
epic
finish
battle?
up the villains. I'll be right back in a sec. I've got to
Sure.
go do something womanly.
Mm.
Okay.
So, who should have had an epic battle? Dr. Facilier.
Yeah.
He should have had an epic battle.
Yeah.
The fact they cut it out.
Yeah. In the stage version of Mary Poppins, actually, because they added in a villain in the character of Mrs. Andrews, who was Mr. Banks's nanny from when he was a kid, she does have a bit of a sing-off battle, basically, with Mary Poppins, and it's glorious. Because basically, you have Miss Andrews, who's like this creepy, decrepit old woman who's like pretty much the devil incarnate, basically, with her disciplined style, who's trying to get Jane and Michael to drink her special tonic, basically, which is like the most disgusting thing ever, as punishment for running away. And then Mary Poppins forces her to drink it herself. And it's like,
oh wow, she's trying to give him juice.
Basically, like, it's the way that the scene goes on the stage as well is it is so cool. And just like hearing pretty much the alto go against the soprano there, it sounds so good.
I will take your word for this because I wish I could have seen that.
Let me see if I can look it up for you guys.
Okay, but let's see, who else? I think Ursula. Ursula and Triton could have been something interesting if they went toe-to-toe magically. Like, if she had the Triton, was able to do something, or had something that was the equivalent of the Triton, I would have loved to have seen them go toe-to-toe. It would have been interesting.
That would have been interesting, yeah.
Hades and Hercules.
Huh?
Hades and Hercules.
Yeah, that was kind of disappointing with Hades and Hercules, to be honest. And Hans and everyone else was kind of, it was a little lackluster. I'm not going to lie.
Mm-hmm.
I was a little kind of disappointed in the fact that he didn't get a great big battle out of it.
Alrighty, I'm back. And yeah, I was disappointed with that too.
Welcome back. But yeah, shoot, there are a lot of things that are lackluster in my life. It's kind of like the Sailor Stars anime, I think, at the end, where you're expecting a battle and you don't get the battle.
I know.
So, yeah, that's how I feel
the manga,
about
we didn't get a battle either.
What? Pie?
In the manga, we didn't get a big battle either.
Yes, we did, actually. We got a lot better of a battle in the manga than we did in the anime. The anime... I was still pissed at that. And, of course, all roads lead to Sailor Moon.
Yeah.
Okay. Who's next?
Next up we talk about the sidekicks. According to the list, that is.
Half of them?
I liked the Boo.
Really.
He was funny.
What'd you say?
I was going to say,
Boo.
I don't really remember any of them too much. The only one that's really ever stuck out to me was Ray from Princess and the Frog, because he's the only sidekick I felt bad for.
Yeah. Exactly. I think that's one of the things about Princess and the Frog that was unique, is that you feel for not just the protagonist, but for their friends. And it kind of mimics like things like Rescuers Down Under, in a way, when they had their sidekicks, too. And the peripheral, the characters on the side, it's like you feel for them. You understand what their motives are and stuff. So with Ray, it was like, wow, awesome. And then, wow, ow, I didn't need a heart, because I think Ray, he's not the first, but he's sort of the first that sort of had an on-screen death in recent Disney history.
And you heard the crunch when he got stepped on.
I know.
What? Oh, I missed that. What did you say?
You heard him go crunch.
Yeah, and that is what made Princess and the Frog kind of...
I know, that made me sad too. Poor Ray.
It was like kind of unexpected crying from people, I think. It's like more so than the whole Hans betrayal.
Yeah, but at least he got to be with Evangeline in the end.
Well,
which, by the way, is the start for Neverland.
Yeah. And which, by the way, you're just kind of like, oh yeah, remember Neverland, that racist kind of movie, and the fact that Peter kind of kills people? Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
he goes even further in Once Upon a Time, and I'm not going to go into that.
Anyway.
Yeah, we gotta wait till Sam gets here. Well, I have to say Kronk in First New Groove. He was pretty cool.
Kronk. Yeah, everyone loves
Kronk. Oh gosh, he was so funny.
Yeah, Kronk was definitely fun.
Yeah. His voice actor was good too.
Yeah, Kronk was totally a man-child. It's like, how do you...
And they picked the perfect voice actor for him.
Yeah, and he was super nice. Like, damn, Kronk, I would marry you.
Yeah, no, he was
just super nice.
Out of all of the villain sidekicks, or minions, basically, he was by far the most sympathetic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know, because he's not evil. That's the thing about Kronk. He wasn't evil. He was just...
And then...
Yeah, he basically just got mixed up with the wrong crowd, basically.
And then his spinach puffs was his tipping point. The spinach puff.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, characters like Kronk are so good, though, because it's like, after him, there was, like, never another Kronk. It's kind of disappointing.
I know, that made me sad.
Also, another disappointing revelation, Mr. Peabody in Sherman.
Who?
That's
DreamWorks.
Yeah, I'm gonna save that little argument of why the fuck are you doing this?
Yeah.
Well, that's episode 7.
Yeah, that's true. Anyway.
Well, it's close enough to Disney, so you can go ahead and say your argument.
Nah, I'll save it. Once I get another preview of that crap.
Well, as far as
Iago?
Yeah, that
Iago was pretty cool.
I don't know. I always found him far more annoying than anything else.
Well, who did
mostly
you
because I really don't like his voice actor. Yeah, exactly. No. Not only that, but
his
just
voice actor is annoying.
Like, I understand he was trying to be there as comic relief, though, but it never worked for me.
Oh, poor Iago.
Yeah, I can understand.
What about, what's that dude's name?
LeFou?
Pain and Panic.
Oh,
Pain and Panic.
Pain and Panic I found a little too annoying. Hades stole the show with the humor in that movie.
Oh, totally.
I don't know. I kind of don't mind Pain and Panic. They're kind of interesting, to be honest.
Yeah, they were funny. I don't know. I'm kind of in the give or take category on them. Like, they were entertaining. They did help propel the plot, which is good for a sidekick.
True.
But they're just kind of
They weren't as good as Hades, in my opinion. But still, they weren't too annoying.
Here's the ones that are good, that are from basically the same movie. And this is going to take a minute, because I've forgotten some of the names. Okay. Timon and Pumbaa.
Mm-hmm.
Yay.
And 3 Hyenas. They all
Yes.
Ed,
Bonsai, and
Shinji. Yes.
It was
Shinji, Bonsai, Ed.
Oh my gosh, Shinji was my favorite. He'd be like, Mufasa. She'd be like, ooh, say it again. Mufasa, ooh, say it again.
Mufasa.
And then Ed just cracking
surrounded by idiots.
Then Ed cracking up.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
And no, his like almost like evil laughter at the end before they tear Scar to pieces. Holy crap!
I know.
Revolt of the sidekicks.
Thing that I loved about them, and the thing I loved about them was that they had such a lovely dynamic because they were their own entities, yet they did help the story along, and their voice actors were amazing. I'm sorry, but Whoopi Goldberg forever.
I agree.
Yeah, agreed.
And
and I'm a big fan of Nathan Lane, the guy who played Timon. I think he does really good comedy.
I do like the guy that played Pumbaa as well.
Yeah, he meshes really well with Nathan Lane.
Can't remember his name to save my damn life, to be honest.
Oh, I can't either. I feel so bad. Pumbaa's my dad's favorite, too. My dad would always say, sorry, to me when I was little, and he was quoting the movie.
Oh.
Pumbaa was voiced by Ernie Sabella.
Yep.
Ah, no wonder I recognize the voice. But yeah, you know what villain we did forget that we never talked about?
Oh.
The guy that killed Bambi's mom.
Oh, we're not going to go into that because we don't want to break anyone's heart.
I don't think they ever named the guy who killed Bambi's mom.
No, they don't.
No,
well, we found out.
Man in general was just the enemy in that movie.
So was this it was in Secret from them, but oh wait a minute, that is not Disney. Oh, Disney, we could have had it all. If you just kept Don Bluth and gave him free reign, you could have had it all.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah. But the most annoying sidekick is, hands down, Olaf.
Couldn't agree more. I was just going to say that.
I'm so sorry. So sorry.
Who would you say would be a runner-up, though, before Frozen came out? Who was the most annoying?
The horse in Rapunzel. Yeah, that's it. It's like a tie between those guys.
Yes, the characters in Rapunzel weren't really needed. I mean, yeah, I did get a kick out of their antics in the movie, but
they
weren't needed for the story to progress. And the little short, as
you could make
as
also
funny
the argument that the alligator in The Princess and the Frog was kind of not really interesting, to be honest. Because I immediately forget him. So I was more
me too.
No,
into
it's awesome.
I mean, I liked him. I liked him as what he was, but as a character in the story, I didn't really care too much. Because it's kind of like a Wizard of Oz moment with him. Like, he had what he needed all along, so... What?
Pretty much.
Okay. And, let's see. Since I'm not going to pick Frozen's Olaf, because I would actually eat him, because he's a snow cone. I'm not going to pick Olaf. I won't. Because in terms of annoyances, Olaf is not as annoying as, like, a bunch of other people. Like, Lawrence in,
he's just the most annoying we can think of at the moment.
Well, Lawrence is actually more annoying than Olaf to me. Even though Lawrence does progress.
Which movie is Lawrence from?
Princess and the Frog.
Oh,
He's
yeah. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
the annoying... Ugh.
Yeah, he's
yes,
actually
he was
more annoying. But at the
He
same
was a
time...
jerk, too.
Yeah, but at the same time, he's sympathetic in a way. So it's kind of like there's a hierarchy of what type of annoying is annoying, and then you're kind of okay with it or kind of not okay with it. Because with Lawrence, I kind of felt bad for him because he's been treated like shit. Literally. If Naveed had been nicer to him, he probably wouldn't have as many problems. He probably would have more problems betraying him. But no, in Frozen, Olaf is not the most annoying one. The most annoying one are the other trolls.
Oh gosh.
In
my opinion, they should have just kept the main troll, and because he contributed to the plot. The other ones were completely unneeded.
Yeah, I kind of agree.
Anna and Kristoff were finding out on their own.
Yeah, I know, because here's the thing. With the Frozen and their trolls, it's more like they were the Smurfs of rock.
I know. That's... You got to me before. You got to it before me.
Thing about it. Yeah, but that's the annoying thing about it. And the additional annoying thing is their assumption that they're going to get these guys together. You're going to need you're a little fixer-upper. I'm like, there's a problem with that song in and of itself. To me, it kind of pisses me off a little bit.
Hated that song. Only song that and the well, actually, I take that back. That was the only song I can't stand from the movie.
Yeah, I can agree on that one on a bit.
And I can't stand it because of the trolls.
I can't stand it because of what the song means. That's my number one issue with that. And then the number two is the trolls. Then number three is putting the black stereotypes in the trolls. And so, yeah, I'm not really crazy about those guys too much. So they are actually the most annoying character in Frozen, and it's not Olaf. See, I don't hate Olaf that bad. It's the trolls. It was the trolls all along.
I think I wouldn't have taken so much issue with Olaf if he hadn't been the one to save Anna at the end, or to let her know that Kristoff loves him. She should have figured it out on her own.
Yeah,
I mean, it was off.
Really loved Olaf, like.
Oh,
yeah.
There's also.
There you go. Kristoff and Olaf.
There is one sidekick we forgot that's cool.
Who?
Which one?
Then
Lottie.
What?
Who?
Lottie.
Lolly?
Lottie. Charlotte. Lottie.
Oh, yeah.
Lottie! I loved her. She was so funny.
She was funny, but at the same time, I'm just kind of like, about Lottie. This is more from my point of view, to be honest, but I'm kind of about Lottie, but at the same time, I did like her because she was nice. At least she was kinder than most people would be.
Yeah, she helped Tiana out in her time of need. She helped clean Tiana up and said, "Here, take my dress." Of course, that's what caused the problem. But still, it was really nice of her.
Yeah, it was nice of her because Tiana's mom has been making her dresses since they were little kids. Otherwise, I don't think she would have done anything.
Helping her when she was.
Yeah, I mean, I get Lottie is Tiana's friend, sort of, kinda. And I do like their relationship more or less, but it's, I'm just about Lottie.
But the coolest thing about Lottie is she actually was supposed to appear in Princess Academy.
Yeah, I know. I know. I follow the guy that was going to work on the Princess Academy, but it's not really that extremely.
Does that have to do with Sophia the First?
Mm-mm.
Oh,
no,
completely
it's
different.
A completely different project that got scrapped later. But
okay.
Quite honestly, I'm not actually about it because everyone and their mama was going to be in the Princess Academy, whether they were actual princesses or not. Maid Marian is not a princess. I'm sorry. She's not.
Technically she is.
No, she's not. She's not actually a princess, though. She was going to be a princess or going to have a higher stature, but she is not a princess. She's just a lady of a manor. Or was going to be. And then you had, like, a bunch of other people that were going to be part of it. But it's kind of like, Besides, Princess Academy was more inclusive about everybody. Almost all females are going to be part of this. I mean, they had the harp. The harp from...
That's why I like Sophia the First. Because,
I don't really
yeah,
care
it is
much
CGI,
about
but... And yeah, it is kind of iffy. But...
It's
thing is,
extremely
it's
iffy.
new characters. And the princesses are just background characters who only appear in certain episodes.
Oh, God, I gotta kill my cousin.
Why?
Kill your cousin for what?
He did Powerpuff Girls 2014 fan art.
Okay,
Oh,
you have my permission.
no.
You have my
I
permission
just
to
want to
destroy him.
forget Powerpuff Girls 2014 ever happened.
It
Because
doesn't
it's an
exist.
insult to Craig
Remember, it
McCracken.
doesn't exist. Just remember, it doesn't exist. As long as we keep saying it doesn't exist, it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank God we're too old for this shit.
Thank God.
Anyway, who else?
That's it, all I can think of.
What's next? Confessions of a Cast Member.
Oh, we're saving that's part 3 for tomorrow.
Oh, okay. So,
Awesome.
nice.
Tomorrow.
Okay, so why don't we
Tomorrow.
wrap up?
Well, yeah. Tomorrow, Confessions of a Cast Member, where you actually have an in-depth view of the Disney property and their evil secrets they have. It's not all magical in the Magical Kingdom, people.
Yeah,
Stick around.
especially with the pink eggs.
And
once again,
the
there's a
way they
reason
do their
the animators call
applications. Yeah.
Yeah, and again, there's a reason why the animators called it the rat instead of the mouse.
Yeah. You guys will find out. You guys will be able to have secrets revealed. So if you guys want a specific secret to be revealed, just hit up our Tumblr, our YouTube page, our podcasting page. Ask questions. They shall be answered tomorrow. Keep in mind that a lot of these secrets are not supposed to leave Disney property. So the cast member who is part of the Disney company will reveal a lot.
They are
and
risking
let's just
it
say
all for
this
you.
person, exactly, this person is risking it. So
And
stick
also
around.
the
You'll
guest
find
cast
out.
member. Oh, sorry. The guest cast member will
Go ahead.
try and say a little bit because she's applied before, so she knows a little bit about the application process. But Pi is going to be the main one to talk.
Wow, thank you.
Really?
And
Oh, it's fine.
Well, then again, Pi does know the person.
that's what I mean.
So
Pi
I
knows the
guess-
person who. But of course, everybody's going to have their say. I is going to say some stuff. I'll say
I'll do
some
my
stuff,
best.
meaning fun. And of course, drum roll. Vimpy!
Yay.
I said it right this
And
time, yay.
Our fourth host will still be on tomorrow, hopefully.
Yeah, fingers
She
crossed.
kind of had some issues tonight. Yeah.
Oh, poor thing.
So, with that said, we gotta bounce. So, we'll see you later for part 3, Confessions of a Cast Member.
And I had a great
So-
time talking to you guys.
Mhm.
Having fun.
It was nice.
Bye-bye.
Nice having you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
It was fun.
So, we'll see you guys tomorrow tomorrow for the next podcast, the final one. Stick around. We'll be there. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Bye.
Girls, Vampy,